Hello, gamers, and welcome back to Low Inc. I'm Cater, joined here today by Nox. We are at the beginning of our wonderful day 2. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Always exciting to get into it here and see who won't be allowed to play Low Inc. again.
yeah, I guess that is your prize, not being allowed to play the game. Or, well, you graduate. You can go somewhere else. Just
there's
here,
lots of other things you can play. You start playing SOS every week with a random pickup.
True. And then you make the silliest pickup names possible.
Yeah.
I love SOS pickup names, man. There's some good stuff in there.
But it looks like we're going to be starting off here with Pawsicles versus Neowave. Should be a fun way to start the day. You have any thoughts about this, Skater?
I like John Carr. I think that's a funny name. I hope to see some Reef Sliders out from that player.
Seems like we likely will, considering they like to play Dreadringer. Always an exciting option there, and it seems like we might have an E-leader coming out of 6 on Pawsicles, which could be interesting to see.
Yeah, now despite our seeding that we have here with, it looks like, oh no, this seeding is from yesterday, so it's not today's seeding. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. But Pawsicles right now has an 83% set win, with winning 5 out of their 6 sets. Neowave is sitting at 4 out of 6 sets, but they have a relatively similar map win race, with Pawsicles at 12 out of 18 and Neowave at 10 out of 18. This is our alpha bracket for today. We are running a double elimination bracket here. And we are going to have counter picks the whole way through. So we'll start with best of 3, and I believe we transition into best of 5 later on in our bracket. But our first map is always predetermined, and then after that it'll be losers counter picks from our map pool here. So for our first predetermined map mode, we are on Splatzone's Hagglefish Market. This one is a classic, and if that E-leader on Pawsicles gets set up, I think they'll have a good time here.
Yeah, definitely a great stage for E-leader, one where they can put in quite a bit of damage. Really great sight lines, but the Dreadringer has some good options too, and it'll be interesting to see how these two teams approach this. Seeing a Sniper coming out here early, always an exciting one. And of course, that E-leader, but not necessarily from the player I expected.
No, it looks like it is going to be Adley playing that E-leader, Respawn Punisher as well. We also see the hero shot coming out of Splat Kirby, and we have the blaster there. So that we see that big bubbler on the zone can be really important in holding that area and denying a lot of ink getting put onto it. On the other side, on Neowave, we're seeing the recycled Brella here. Not very common of a pick, but I think it's something that has been getting a little bit more attention recently.
It definitely has, and it's considered one of the strongest of the Brellas, which maybe isn't saying the most, but it's something. John Carr having to jump out there. Pawsicles getting a great opening, really starting to tick down the timer, claiming a ton of space. The Blaster doing an excellent job moving forward without overextending. And it looks like Pawsicles is really well set up, and Neowave is going to have to use some specials to break out here.
Yeah, speaking of specials, we've got the Trizuka coming out into the zone, looking for picks, but doesn't find one. The recycled going down here. John Carr puts out the Tri-Strikes, but it is unfortunately just painted right over. We do have one He on the pencil, getting one pick, but will it be enough as we go into 13 remaining? We have jumps coming into this pen. They're getting picked. Oh, but we do have the zone neutralized. Adley, though, gonna tap shot and put paint over it. The zone getting almost neutralized again, but not quite at the end. It just gets painted over there. Pawsicle's gonna run away with this first one as a KO.
Yeah, Pawsicles did a great job of really claiming the space they needed, backing off when specials were popped, and then immediately grabbing it back again. Neowave just couldn't find a way to force themselves in, especially because their specials didn't really give them... They didn't take advantage of the opportunities their specials gave particularly well, meaning that they never had the opportunity to really get in and get a push going once they were out.
I would have loved to see the Zuka and Tri-Strikes used in tandem, honestly. I think the combination of that could create both a lot of displacement as well as the chip damage that could come off of that, and it would be a lot easier to follow up on that rather than using one and then waiting a little bit because that gives Pawsicles a chance to recover and then using another one.
Yeah, I very much so agree. It's always nice when you can kind of stack those specials or even stagger them one after another.
Yes, that too, yeah.
Because even just using those triple ink strikes and then immediately following it up with that Inkzuka really offers you a lot of space and a lot more threat, especially in regards to getting that E-leader out of position, which is always a high goal in that kind of situation.
I would say both of those specials are also readily avoidable, but you can use it to both displace people and make them move into... You can use it to predict their movement, right? If you throw an ink strike behind someone, they're going to avoid it and come forward towards you, and then you can do something like throw a bomb there, or cut them off or pincer them with another player. Similarly, with the Zuka, you can use it to curve up and around hiding positions and force people out of the spots that they're using for cover.
Yeah, you can definitely use it to funnel them into your more Slayer-type weapons, or funnel them away from your anchor or support. Just really making sure to control the space. And I think going to Rainmaker here will be really interesting for Neowave, considering how dominant Pawsicles was. I worry a little bit about how Rainmaker will go for them.
I do. I mean, of course, we can't have the, classic Rainmaker moments back in 2 because we have the checkpoints now, and that will give them a little bit of breathing room, but you can still very much get snowbally ones. I do think... here on Rainmaker, it's a little bit of an uphill battle getting to the very end, the podium, and there's a lot of opportunities to stop that Rainmaker in its tracks as it's going up the long ramp there. So we might not, see an immediate knockout or a fast knockout like we did the last one. There might be more chances, or Neowave might just feel more comfortable on Scorch Gorge specifically.
I mean, that definitely could be it. Scorch Gorge is a very unique layout of a stage. It's pretty unlike a lot of the other ones we play. I personally love it for Rainmaker. I think it's really great. I think especially if you have some interesting weapon picks you want to pull out, or even a Toxic Mist weapon, it can be a really interesting stage to play around. But I'm not necessarily expecting to see Toxic Mist here. That's just a personal favorite to me.
That is true. Yeah, pulling out the Zinc Mini here and the Bubble and Toxic Mist combo, definitely a favorite of mine. But, we've got, some switch-ups here. The Sticker Stamper is coming out, as well as Dreadringers on both sides now, so we will certainly see some cars in the mix. One of those Dreadringers coming out from John Carr. We've got to switch to the custom E-Leader as well, so Beacons and Kraken coming out here, keeping that respawn Punisher. I do want to see if any of those Krakens come into play. As a fan of Heavy Deco myself, I do really like the special.
Yeah, Kraken can definitely be very exciting, can be very game-changing in the right moments, especially when you have a big bubbler that could come out from the other side. The Kraken doesn't really have to worry about it, and a pretty equal opening coming out here.
Yeah. We'll say one thing about Kraken on the E-Leader is that it can be a little bit more difficult to recover because you have to be very mindful of getting out of a situation after your Kraken runs out, and you can't be as risky with the ending of it as some more aggressive weapons, perhaps. But it's still a very good tool. You can see Adley using it, getting out, and we have Splat Kirby on the Zuka. We didn't see anything. Unfortunately, they go down from there. John Carr with the car coming in to finish off Adley, so no leader, and that's 3 down on the side of Pawsicles right now. Neowave in their element, gonna have one He on the pencil, pick that up and bring it all the way up to this first checkpoint. The Booyah Bomb already going off before the checkpoint is down, so maybe a little bit early there, but it definitely clears out some members of Pawsicles, although it looks like the shot on Neowave is down, so that's gonna make it more difficult to continue holding this area.
Yeah, and the checkpoint here, it's useful to get. It's not going to be a game-winning lead by any means on Scorch Gorge. We find a 3-down situation, the shot on respawn, but manage to jump in and get a flank off, it seems. Really great opportunity there. Excellent job of slowing down Pawsicles, really making them have to take an extra second to make their way forward. But the big bubbler comes out, going to allow them to potentially get this checkpoint, especially with the Reef Slider helping out in a 2-down, 3-down situation.
Yeah, really nice double there. Leo does get one of the picks, but unfortunately wipe out on the side of Neowave there, so Pawsicles is going to break that Rainmaker and take the lead here as they bring it up to 47 before they go down to John Carr, the main weapon though, not the car. No driving is taking place at the moment as the Reef Sliders are not present, but Queef is in the Flow Aura in the mid right now, getting jumps back for their teammates, and we see the Inkzuka coming out, but again, to not finding anything. Neowave also has that Reef Slider if they want to use that to break out back into mid as the Booyah Bomb comes out. We have 2 down, 3 down on Pawsicles, excuse me.
Just the E-Leader left up, seems to have found the Rainmaker in time though. E-Leader's still up, going to be looking to find this Rainmaker yet again, this time using the Kraken. Excellent way of trying to get them. Manages to, holding onto the lead just barely. They need to clear this space out, though, or Neowave will take the lead.
Yeah, they almost got a second pick there. Mars backing up a little bit, still maintaining presence along with their teammate John Carr here, who does get one pick onto Splat Kirby, so there is still very much presence for Neowave. The push is not quite yet over. They also have two specials here. Mars popping the Booyah Bomb all the way to force Adley off there, but one Reef Slider, two Reef Slider. It ends in Neowave still having the person advantage here. Leo getting the pick on 6, into the Flora State, getting a double, getting that third assist there. That's a wipeout right into the... The Rainmaker finally takes the lead as they squid roll up all the way into that ramp. Now they're at 28.
28 is definitely a solid push for this stage. It's a hard one to get those big pushes in on because of that ramp. Still plenty of time, though, for Pawsicles to find a way to turn it around, but they have to get Neowave out of their spawn first.
Mars is being very tricky with this. Opting to jump back out though, but has the cooler. I feel like I haven't really seen much cooler this entire match. Like they've definitely been present with the pencil, but it feels like it's not dictating the pace of the game as much as I see it do so in a lot of other matches.
Yeah, it does feel like the cooler is not a top priority here. Definitely getting some use, but not seeing a ton. Autobomb finding an excellent pick there. Rainmaker is back in mid, but Pawsicles can't really move forward quite yet, especially with the Dreadringer coming out, using that Reef Slider, finding one, looking for another, but the Zuka comes out, making it so that it's just Queef left in mid, just trying to survive right now.
Yeah, we saw that Booyah Bomb come out at the end, so kind of a special train going on here, and the Rainmaker is in a funny little position right now. It's one of the stall spots here, all the way on the side. Pawsicles is going to have to get it out of a little bit of the awkward position there. It looks like they're just going to opt to let it reset, maybe, but I don't even know if they have the time to do that. Surely, they do have two specials online, but with two members down and Neowave with a good presence in mid, we do have one pick, but it gets traded off again, and that Rainmaker has to get popped and picked up by Pawsicles, which it does not. So Neowave is going to take our second game, tying up our set 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Always an exciting way to start off the day, going into a game 3. Very interesting. Neowave definitely seems very confident when they can make those super explosive pushes, so I almost am expecting Pawsicles to potentially take them to something like a tower control here, where it's another set pace mode.
Yeah, something that's less, player dictated and more there's a consistent pace. Because Splat Zones is like that too. I mean, the objective doesn't move, yeah, but the timer ticks down at a pretty consistent pace, so I would put my bets on tower control as well. But we'll see if they decide to surprise us.
Yeah, out of curiosity, you have any stages you'd expect them to pick out of the ones we have in our map pool today?
I mean, I feel like Inkling Art Academy is always the obvious pick for tower control.
Maybe not with an E-Leader, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, we do, we have Ship Shape Tower.
Yeah.
Now, I personally do really like that as a long-range Splatling player myself, and I think the E-Leader could have some fun here as well. So if they feel confident on it, it is also, like, a tad bit more niche than other tower maps. Like, the other ones we have here are Mako, Haggle, and Inkblot. So Ship Shape is sometimes a little bit of a more pocket pick for some teams, so if they're confident here, I could definitely see them going for that.
Yeah, it's also very snowbally, so if they get a good push like they did on Hagglefish, they can easily just kind of KO the game, take it easier for themselves, not make it too stressful.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they go about it. I am always... A lot of these teams, they don't have the most experience with counterpicking. I know more low-level tournaments do it than they used to, but we're going to the classic. Tower control Inkblot. It's inescapable. Everybody knows it. At least it's not ever. Look, it's always them. But at least it's not. It used to be so set that it would always go Zones, Mako, TC, Inkblot, and then the third would maybe be like Rainmaker, Humpback. That was like that's what it was counterpicks with every time back in the day. So at least we got a Rainmaker Scourge. I'll take it.
Daring today, aren't we, with our counter picks? So of course, it's not a bad thing, when you're when you're confident on a map mode, especially one, that's been around for longer than this specific installment of the game has been around,
Yes.
shout out Splatoon 2, then it makes sense to be in an environment that you're comfortable with, especially setting the tone of the set where, because they won that first match, they are now in control of the match point pick for both of these teams. So if pawsicles feels more comfortable here, then that does give them an advantage here. But I'm sure that NeoWave has no shortage of experiences here. Tower control, Inkblood. Let's see if we see any changes in our weapons.
Looking like nothing too wild in terms of changes. We are seeing an end zap coming out, probably to help try and keep the pace up instead of that Dreadringer. So that is a pretty significant change. That'll give their Blaster 6 a lot more turf to work with, a lot more space on the map to potentially shark around in. But Queef goes down immediately. Mars and Leo really rushing here.
Yes, indeed. Mars, especially on this sticker stamper, it's just a really nice kit to be so aggressive with. We do have Splat Kirby on the shot. That's actually 3 down on NeoWave, and so 6 and Splat Kirby going to take advantage of that, take over this right stack, and force out the jump out from the last player. So it is pawsicles now hopping onto that tower and making their way to that first checkpoint, which NeoWave got to, but did not make too much progress in. The immediate strike response, though, as soon as that score is tied up, and Splat Kirby coming out with a Trizuka of their own as well. So blows are traded. Splat Kirby gets the pick on Mars. Adley is still back here, has the Wave Breaker at the ready. That is a switch back to the regular E-Later from the custom E-Later that we saw last match. And then Queef here has the Cooler, so one of, I'm sure, many that we are going to see, hopefully to pick up the pace for pawsicles a little bit and begin another push.
Yeah, pawsicles really taking their time to establish these pushes, playing at their own pace, not letting the speed of NeoWave get to them. But that could end up being their downfall, especially with how many Reef Sliders that Dreadringer is putting out. E-Leader versus Snipe Rider right now. A jump in, hopefully going to be able to get 1D out of position for pawsicles. Looks like it will. 2 down. And it looks like we might finally see some movement past the first checkpoint, a minute and a half into the game. Maybe.
Maybe, but that tower's back at square one for both of these teams. They're very much biding their time. Both of them have had their times in the spotlight with, the explosive pushes that you mentioned and the knockout that pawsicles had last time. But I think both of these teams are just waiting for a good opportunity. And as soon as they get something, the other team responds right in kind, with 6 getting that pick and then Wanhee immediately responding. With the Cooler coming out in the Booyah Bomb, though, NeoWave has a little bit of the upper hand here in terms of turf, though again, 1 down on both sides. Pawsicle trying to encroach on this right hand here, but Queef going down, and 6 a little bit alone here. Can they get the pick on John Carr?
Not with that Reef Slider coming out like that. Queef
Man.
maybe moving a little far forward in front of the rest of the team, but Bazooka coming out, helping clear space. Splat King looking to try and move forward as Adley just trying to set up exactly where they want to be, keeping that Snipe Rider at bay. Pawsicles has definitely had control of mid mostly for quite a while now, but it's just not been enough for them to feel comfortable making a push. And it just feels like we're in such a stally state.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are starting to feel the slog as, Adley gets a pick and dodges the Booyah Bomb toss directly on top of them. NeoWave, though, finally making it past first checkpoint, guys!
Yeah, like 3 minutes into the game, at least we've done it.
Make it past. I didn't even clear the checkpoint.
Oh, no.
There's 1/4 of the checkpoint left. Come on, guys.
Guys, we gotta clear 1 checkpoint. I promise we can clear 1.
John Carr getting canceled mid-car, driver's license revoked as Splat Kirby then again goes down. We are again back at that first checkpoint, and we have to wait out the whole thing again. The Booyah Bomb's going out, and finally the checkpoint is cleared. Adley puts out the Wave Breaker, looking for some valuable location information. Splat Kirby are trying to drop from the bats here. 6 gets 1 pick, and the Wave Breaker is out. The Bubbler is ready as well. That tower slowly but surely making its way back to mid. We do still have the car at the ready from John Carr, and the Bubbler just get popped in mid.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Reef Slider didn't get used on the Bubbler, but I guess they didn't deem it an impactful enough Bubbler to worry about. John Carr in an excellent position right now, going to be looking to poke at this tower, having to pivot to Plat as somebody has snuck their way up there. But the Snipe Rider finds one. It's just Adley up in mid, forced to back off by the splatter shot and the Booyah Bomb. And we're seeing NeoWave deftly reclaiming mid, looking to just wrap up this game as quickly as possible, not letting pawsicle really reestablish themselves, but turf definitely going back over in the favor of pawsicles in mid.
The stamina is crazy right now from both of these teams. Another Reef Slider at the ready, and Bubbler from the other side of Pawsicles. Ooh, we do see a flick pick there on Queef, and that is going to give Neowave the upper hand heading into our last 16 seconds here with 2 down on the side of Pawsicles and an overwhelming amount of orange in the center. The Jodkar in the Flow Aura state, and jumping back. That tower is in mid. We have the Trizuka from both sides trying to claim turf. Pawsicles trying to make their way out. Weef does get on the tower, but unfortunately goes down, so no chance at an overtime push for Pawsicles.
Yeah, really great gameplay from both of those teams. An exciting first set of the day. And Pawsicles is not out yet. They're going to go down to losers, and you never know how long a loser's run can be.
Oh yeah, I have definitely seen teams make a losers run the length of the entire bracket and come back up to challenge in grand finals. It is absolutely not out of the question.
Yeah, and it's always exciting to see how they do for the rest of the day. Very interesting to see how this will go down. And Neowave did a really great job there, and admittedly having a little bit more aggressive weapons probably helped them out there quite a bit, as well as how tight that map was to really let that Dreadringer play around ledges.
For sure, yeah. The ledges are definitely something that can get very important on Inkblot, just because you have the ledge that looks up onto plat, where a lot of anchor players like to set up, is pretty small and makes that plat very accessible. And then you also have the ledges on the stacks in mid and looking up onto the bats area. So something like, I mean, I would say both the blasters and the Dreadringer players were having a good time.
It did sure seem like it. It's definitely a really good stage for those weapons that like to play at closer quarters. I would say that it was a bit of a hard pick with an E-leader on your team. Personally.
Yeah.
It's not E-leader's strongest place. Definitely maybe could have gone differently with a different map pick, but that's part of why we do counter picks and Loink, so teams can learn more about what counter picks work for them and what counter picks don't.
Yeah, completely fair. It can feel like a lot of pressure to make a counter pick, but once, especially if you're playing with a long-term team, once you get a feel of the things you like and the things you don't like, then you start having them in your back pocket, and you've got like default picks. Like, okay, we pick this. If we can't do it, then we pick this. Taking a look at our bracket here, we've actually got a lot of 1-1 sets currently still going on, which is, I feel like in a lot of double and brackets like this, you kind of expect all the first sets to be 2-0s with the way the seeding is. So it's interesting that we have so many seemingly evenly matched sets here.
Always exciting to see, always what I personally hope to see. So,
oh, me too.
Looking forward to seeing how these play out. Looks like right now for stream, we're waiting on Starfish and Octaves to figure out who's going to come out on top there. They do seem to be on game 3 on Claimlets, Barnacle, and Dime. So, some exciting choices on their part. And it'll be interesting to see who it goes to.
Oh, there it is. We've just gotten the update. It is Starfish that takes the set 2-1, and so they are going to be going up against Chery DeepSync, which it looks like that is what we are going to be seeing next.
Yeah. Should be exciting to see, as always. We're going to be starting off on a zone stage. Nothing too wild there. And it'll be interesting to see how the two teams play into each other.
I believe we always start on zones for our predetermined stage.
I believe so. It's viewed as the most neutral, so I believe that's
most neutral, yeah,
the first choice.
Ground, yeah. Well, it looks like we are going to be seeing some more blaster gameplay, as Umber on Chery DeepSync has custom and regular blaster listed there. So some more area of effect gameplay.
Yeah, it seems like people haven't found the blaster nerf to be too terrible yet.
And I'm looking here, Chery DeepSync has not dropped a single match all weekend. They were seeded first in the entire tournament out of all 60 teams. They have won every match so far, including their 2-0 over S5P squared earlier today. So right now they're on a roll. We'll see if Starfish is their match to beat.
Yeah, it does seem like we are going to be seeing another sword out of Starfish from Mark, which is always exciting. Kawa seems to like to play heavy edit. Not something we see every day these days, but I'm very excited to see it. It's always a fun one. But it seems like Kawa's not quite in right now. My apologies.
Unfortunate. I mean, hey, if you decide to bring him in, I would love to see a heavy edit, but it looks like
I
they're
can't
not on the
complain.
active roster for today.
Yes.
From
Unfortunate.
From Alex Vic, we've got the Dread Ringer again, as well as some more blasters, and then EDU Sky has the Luna Neo favorited on their profiles. So if that is true and we see some Luna Neo gameplay, I will be very, very excited.
Yeah, it's definitely not something we see every day. It can be very temperamental, but on specific stages and in the right hands, it can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, honestly, temperamental is a really good way to describe some weapons.
Yeah, they've got their own opinions. They've got their needs that have to be met in order to get the jobs they do done. And I'd say Luna's high up there on that list. It doesn't paint a ton for itself. The Fizzy Bomb helps some, but you need your ink for other things. So you need to make sure that your team has enough range and enough support to really allow you to get in there.
Yes, indeed. We are going to be seeing our first zones match here on Robo Ramen. Something that a stage that I feel is pretty classic, but I feel like I haven't heard much about it in comparison to a lot of other zones maps lately, like Mako or Haggle. Like, I feel like this one's taken a little bit of a backseat, but of course I could be wrong. That could be the bias of the events that I look at.
I think it's definitely pretty commonly played, but it's not usually the first zones pick for people. They usually tend to go for more of a Haggle or a Mako, and then if that gets taken and they want to play zones again, and they're in a tournament that allows it, we see a Robo Roman. There's definitely teams that prefer it, but at this level, I think the amount of different routes can make it a little bit challenging.
That's true. It's also very vertical. The drop-offs on the sides are pretty tall, especially when you compare it to something like Haggle, where the side pits are much more shallow, and so it's a lot easier to keep your eyes on them, spot flanks coming up, or other fights happening over there. So sometimes when you're looking at frontliners that are fighting in the pits, and then you go back over to the zone, it can feel like two completely different games.
It really can, and not that we're going to see it right now, but I think if we had more tri-stringer players, we'd see a lot of Robo Roman. It does particularly well here.
I mean, there's always the few tri-stringer warriors. I know there's at least 3 or 4 of them up at the higher levels. I don't know how many we see at low levels where...
There's a good few that I noticed were playing today, but they don't happen to be in this set.
Yeah. Well, also, you would, the beauty of low ink, I feel, is that genuinely you can bring anything and make it.
Oh, absolutely.
At higher levels you might have very more weapons that are more common that make the matchup a little bit more difficult, right? Like I play heavy edit as one of my main weapons, and the higher up I go, the more pens and leaders make my life a lot more difficult. But I can make it work down here because there's a lot more diversity, I feel.
Yes, Chargers definitely are. Splatling is a natural enemy, and we are going to be seeing a heavy coming out here from Philia. But there is a Snipe Raider from Rice Cake, which might give them a bit of a challenge, just like we were just discussing. Fane on that Dreadringer, going to be able to do a lot on the zone. Same for Alex. Pretty similar comps all around, in all honesty. The Crab does change it up a good bit for Chery DeepSync. Should allow them a little bit of extra range when they need it. But that depends on how good their Crab tank is, especially after the more recent nerfs.
Ooh, that is a nicely placed Reef Slider here. It does get one and force the 2 other people off and out of the checkpoint. Fane, though, gonna come in and respond immediately. Be down on the side of Starfish means that they are going to come over and take the zone. And fortunately, the heavy splatting is gonna get a little bit overwhelmed as we see Dream Mode pop the Crab in the choke point here. That is nicely placed and has still high ground as well, finishing that pick off with a burst bomb. Ooh, and 2 more go down on the left side of the map, including the Stamper mid-zip caster. So Chery DeepSync in a very nice position right here as Dream Mode, in a very aggressive position actually, and paying for it.
Yeah, I can see why they're the team that hasn't dropped anything yet this weekend. They are playing so fast, they are playing so aggressively, and they have their specials ready to go at opportune moments, like this Dreadringer, having Reef Slider ready to go, popping it at an opportune time to keep the zone at least in neutral, allowing their teammates to find the picks they need for Chery DeepSync to just keep ticking away on this timer.
Yeah, nice pick from the heavy there. One for the road as they back off to meet the rest of their team, but now that they have the low ground, especially against this crab tank, that makes it a lot more difficult to come back in. We did see the zone flip for a moment, it looked like, because there is penalty on the side of Chery DeepSync right now, so that gives Starfish a little bit more breathing time. They are 2 down. Umbra has to jump back into the zone, finding themselves in perhaps not the greatest position to be in at the very bottom of one of those vertical pits. We have Mark on the Stamper, does get a nice pick there. The penalty is out, but the Zipcaster is also out, and so is the Reef Slider. And a second Reef Slider, and the second one wins.
The second one does win. The zone just barely being held onto. Umbra finding an amazing pick to allow them to keep this zone. They are through their penalty. The points are ticking away. They just need to focus on painting now, except for Umbra, who's probably making the right choice in fighting right now.
Yeah. Oh, and getting a nice direct there, too. Meanwhile, the paint is being fought with the zone still neutralized, but with 3 down on the side of Starfish, unfortunately, 1 heavy splatling, as paint heavy as it is not enough to keep the match. And that is our first game taken by Chery DeepSync.
Yeah, really incredible job. They did an excellent job at really making sure that they always had players up, so they never really lost control at any point. There were moments when individual players would overextend, but as a team, they never overcommitted.
Yeah, I agree. Not wiping, or even like I would say the 3 down situations were few and far between if they happen. It means that you can have that consistent presence. You don't give up a lot of area. When you have a teammate there, even if they're backing up, they're still putting out paint. They're still, they still are an entity that the enemy team has to be cognizant of. You're not giving up space for free, which unfortunately happens if you go 3 down or you wipe a lot of the time.
Yeah, and it's why it's so important to have an anchor that really is good at stabilizing, and some supports that are really comfortable just holding space, not claiming more, but holding what's still there, which Dreadringer and Splash are both exceptionally good at, and it really allowed their blaster player to maneuver around as much as they needed.
Yeah, I think you're pointing out the crab tank at the beginning was a very good call as well. I think that was a very beneficial thing for Chery DeepSync to have, especially with the perches on Robo Ramen, those little glass areas, and the fact that choke point kind of gives the high ground to the aggressors and not the defenders there. It's really difficult to do anything really when the crab tank is looking at you. You have to focus your energy on moving. We do have our counter pick from Starfish. We are going to TC Mako Mart.
Interesting. Definitely not a stage. It's a stage we see TC on plenty. Definitely a common tower control pick. But it's always an interesting one. I imagine with a Dreadringer, you feel pretty comfortable picking it. Harder with the other team also having one. It's a very ledge-focused stage. If Machine was still even somewhat decent, I'd say we should see it here. But Machine is still left in the ground.
I used to play Machine competitively at the end of Splatoon 2. I miss Kenza Machine. That kit was wonderful.
I don't miss Machine at launch of Splatoon 3.
Oh yeah, no, I can completely understand that one. Yeah, they turned Machine from a rampaging monster into not relevant at all. Unfortunately, perhaps overcorrected on that a little bit. But so no Machine here, but we do have blasters and Dreadringers in the mix, and honestly, I would not be surprised to see that Splash make a return as well.
No, not at all. This stage has such good sight lines. The Splash can set up a crab tank nearly anywhere. It's going to be super comfy here. Either stack is going to be great for it. If they manage to make a cross, it's going to be incredible to set up a crab tank there. It's just such a versatile special that allows that blaster player to really get in and cause as much damage as they want to, quite frankly.
Yeah, I do wonder if Mark will stick on the vanilla stamper, just because I think the Zipcasters were a little bit difficult on the last map. It was like very, very often they were getting interrupted in the Zipcaster, and it's very good for disruption, but when you're like, I think that maybe the stickers could be a good pick here, especially when you have your tower control. You can have the GG Booyah, or you can use it to clear it out, and that's a little bit more guaranteed, say, than using a Zipcaster as well. But of course, if they decide to stick on the vanilla one, that Zipcaster is still a very valuable tool. So,
well, especially against a crab tank.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. Ooh, that is the Luna coming out there. So Luna Neo,
Interesting.
we will see it here coming out from Starfish. Perhaps that's why they picked it. They wanted to give their Luna Neo player a chance to shine here on a tower control stage full of little ledges and lips.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better stages for Luna Neo. Fizzy Bomb does well here. Ultra Stamp does well here. And Luna itself excels here. They are finding some early success, finding a pick onto a member of Chery DeepSync. But
overlapping Reef Sliders again, and like it is, the second one wins. The Wavebreaker going out, and Starfish is in their element right now. 2 down on the side of Chery DeepSync, having that heavy, nice situated on the tower, and getting good damage in. We're already at that first checkpoint.
yeah, really great job from Starfish there, getting an early push in. They do go 2 down, so they're not able to continue working past the checkpoint, not quite able to clear it. But we see Chery DeepSync trying to crawl back into mid and just not quite finding what they need, I say, as the blaster hits a very crucial direct. Luna manages to try and escape, doesn't make it out. Hylia stuck in an awkward situation with the Snipe Rider staring them down. And Starfish a bit back on the back foot now.
Yeah, I felt that jump out. They got almost everything they needed for the pick, but their opponent lived with just the slightest bit of health, and they went, you know what, I can't stay in this situation any longer. We'd have more picks going out, 2, now 3 down on the side of Chery DeepSync, and so Hylia going to hop back onto that tower. You do see, the Stamper go down, and that means the Silent Child as well. Yeah, very, very difficult, especially when you have the blaster just converging on you like that with the Dreadringer. I mean, so much AoE in these 2 players as they team up.
Well, really, so much AoE from Chery DeepSync as a whole. Yeah. All of their numbers line up super well. That burst bomb able to do a ton. Same with this Crab Tank, not able to stay up there, but pushing them all the way to 47. We're seeing Wave attempting to push here. Sorry, Mark attempting to push. They're able to find the Snipe Rider, able to somehow find that Reef Slider, but the super jump managing to find the pick. Eduardo jumped in, but Umbra has the range advantage, able to make that pick happen. And now in an excellent situation to just keep slowly chipping away at the members of Starfish.
Oh yeah, that range advantage really helped them out in that 1v1 there. Alex, though, gets a nice fall-off pick with the Dreadringer there. That's 3 down, Rice Cake popping the cooler, but forced to back off as Starfish is making their way again to that first checkpoint and trying to get through it. We have the Zipcaster coming out as well from behind, but does quickly get shut down by the respawning members of Chery DeepSync. And the Splatling goes down on the tower as well, so even though the Dread is still fighting valiantly and we have the jump coming in as well, Eduardo is still here and alive as well, that tower has made its way all the way back to mid because of that interception from the back of the push.
Yeah, it's just so hard to break in against a comp where if 2 players look at you at once, you're going to go down, quite frankly. The way their numbers all line up just makes this especially brutal. The Dreadringer doing their best to try and get some more space for Chery DeepSync in mid. Starfish finds a 2 down. This could be their opportunity to get a push going. Just the Splash-O-Matic up on left. Definitely a weapon that's easier to isolate and control, and they manage to. Umbra looking to move forward, trying to poke at the tower, not able to find the space they need. Getting close to a lead switch here, but the Snipe Rider finds an excellent pick. Mark managing to take them down, tap the tower, find the lead.
The lead does switch now with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, 3 down on Starfish, but they did what they came here to do. Now Chery DeepSync are the ones that have to turn the tides of this match, and Umbra is already starting to do so, taking control of this right stack here, backing off just a little bit, seeing that Alex has the Dreadringer, not wanting to get too tangled up in the middle of that, but the Luna Neo does go down, and suddenly we have a Crab Tank here, has to go ball mode though because of the Dreadringer harassing it, gets the pick on the Dread there, and immediately turning their attention to the Splatling. The cooler goes out on this stack as well, which is a great place for it to be, and suddenly the lead switch seems imminent.
Oh, not quite!
Oh, not quite there!
Oh, just barely!
1 point before a full wipeout situation in favor of Starfish, though, so again, the tide turned, but you can see Starfish is already in a front-facing, aggressive position. They're already poking at the members of Chery DeepSync.
Yeah, we are seeing numbers go down for Starfish, but I don't know if it will be fast enough. Eduardo able to find another. Splash drops down, gets traded out, just the blaster left up, but they do have that splashdown, but the Splatling able to find them just in time. This should be Starfish's lead to take. They just can't get wiped out for it.
And they did not. I mean, absolutely clutch pick from that Splatling leading into this lead swap again. That is another wipeout situation as these teams are both... Oh, it's so difficult because now we are seeing pretty much a guaranteed overtime. Both these teams are putting everything they have into their pushes. We have the crab tank at the ready, and that is a dangerous special to have when this splash is set up here on this checkpoint. They are really wanting to pick on the Stamper, and they do get it. Our tower is back into mid right now. The crab tank almost done, no second pick, but the damage has been done. So much orange out right now.
Yeah, the Reef Slider is ready on the part of Fame. Able to survive on the tower. Just the Lunar Blaster left up. Picked off. This should be Chery DeepSync's game to take at this point.
Oh, the last and final wipeout. Almost, we see the members diving, but unfortunately it is not quite enough. And in overtime, that lead flips for, what, the 4th time in a minute and a half?
Yeah, and I mean, that's really a summary of why you can't wipe out to get the lead. You will just get counter-pushed. The other team will be able to answer quickly enough to lay down enough ink to claim the space they need to be able to make another push. And you never want to give the other team that opportunity if you've managed to get lead.
And both of these teams found that out, but unfortunately, Chery DeepSync were the ones to have, well, unfortunately for Starfish, they were the ones to have the last push in that overtime. Not enough time for Starfish to respond. So our set ends 2-0 in favor of Chery DeepSync, but that score does not tell the whole story because, wow, that last match was really just a tug of war.
It was so back and forth. I hope to see a good losers run out of Starfish. I'm excited to see how the rest of it goes for them because they played very well into Chery DeepSync. And Chery DeepSync played so quickly. They never hesitated to take an opportunity.
Yeah, there was our first, that was I think the second lead switch where this is the wipeout situation that we're looking into, and then we have another lead switch where that third checkpoint, or that second checkpoint is just cleared, and then the wipeout situation with 10 seconds remaining, which is not what you want to see, and unfortunately, I think Starfish, yeah, I think they had the Reef Slider, but it looks like they were both popped simultaneously and almost canceling out there, and then the splashdowns to finish everything off, and all of the members of Starfish diving for the tower couldn't avoid the splashdown, and unfortunately they lost the lead for it.
Yeah, and it's how it goes sometimes. It's a brutal situation. And it's just really a lesson in wipeouts and why you need to avoid them, especially when you're so close to the end of the game. Because if they had just taken that 1-point lead and backed off and held mid, there is a better chance they win that game.
Yeah, to be fair, it's difficult to back off when you're putting every single person you have into a push, but that's why it's, I would say, like, you know, being in a little cluster that can die to splashdown is unfortunately difficult, and it's what I like to call fireball formation, you know, like everybody's in a clump, everybody's going for the tower, you can all go down to one explosion. Looking back at our bracket, looks like PayBack has won 2-0 over Inkivari. Crushing 20s 1-1 against Neowave right now, and then Fishy soloq Warriors won over Unmusique. And those are the quarterfinal sets that we're working on. Meanwhile, we have our losers bracket round 1 matches. Some of them have concluded. It looks like Octaves has won over S5P Squared and Lemonade Booth over Ink Opaque, and then Pawsicles that we saw before is still in their match against Override. That is in progress.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how these all shape out. And
sorry, is that team name? That team name is Well-Done Filet Mignon. That is a crime. How dare you, folks? I mean, for those who don't know, the filet mignon is a prime cut of steak, and you should not be cooking that well done because you're just killing the texture of that. It's supposed to be a nice tender medium rare.
It's important to commit some food crimes every now and then. At least nobody's burning pasta.
That's true. No, it's not Havoc's spaghetti in SOS.
I thought that was SAC.
Oh, maybe it was SAC, but
either way, it was many years ago now.
Yeah, Havoc was cooking spaghetti, and I think he said the TOs wouldn't let him step away to take a break, and all the water boiled off the spaghetti.
I think it's that he forgot about the spaghetti out of memory.
Oh, maybe. But either way, all the water boiled off, and then it just completely burned because I assume it was smoking. Not great. So, you know,
not ideal.
But maybe don't cook during tournaments is what I should say here.
You can make microwave food. That's about the limit.
That's true, because that stops when, well, but if you're making microwave food, make sure you put water in the microwave food.
Yes, don't be like the people in my first undergrad dorm that didn't know you needed to put water in Easy Mac. God.
It says!
Yeah, they were horse people. They didn't know how to
packet.
read.
Oof.
But that was 10 years ago.
Are not
now.
great at that either. So
that's true.
I guess
Everybody
if you're gonna
needs
read anything, have it be the rules and the instructions on your Easy Mac.
Exactly. Make sure that you're not going to burn your house down.
That's
or
true.
Your dorm.
Or your dorm. Yeah. Not great. You can play Splatoon in there all you want, but let's keep it intact for now. How about that? All right, we are going to take a quick break. So if you guys in the audience want to go make some Easy Mac, you can do so, because we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Put water in there and stay tuned.
they're getting hyped. They're going to make the comeback here, Brett.
Ellie's down.
YVR, they're going to help us finally see some fight.
Just one of them, it's just for 10 seconds out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Low Ink. I'm Nox. I'm joined here by Cater, and I'm looking so forward to getting into this set with Fishy, soloq, Warriors, and PayBack.
Hello, hello, that is me, and yes, that is where we will be going. We are in the semifinals of Winners Bracket here in Alpha Bracket of Day 2 of Low Ink. So, very, very excited to see what these teams have in store. Fishy soloq Warriors is a funny name, but whether they are fishy because they are cephalopods or whether there is something up with them is to be determined.
It is, and it'll be interesting to determine. It's always intriguing to see what I'm guessing is more of a pickup against a more established team. Just based off, the team tags and such.
Yes, it does look like Fishy soloq Warriors has members from Crosscheck and Turn Left and Rebrand. So definitely a pickup going on here, and then PayBack, I would assume, like you said, an established team going off of the team tags. It looks like we can probably see an E-leader coming out from Silver here on the side of Fishy soloq Warriors, or that's being displayed as your fave cat here on screen.
Endless.
Yes, thank you.
Players love to mess with their names. Truly a never-ending experience in Splatoon.
Yep. Hey, if you whatever name you put on there, we'll call you that name. So hopefully you're good with being called your fave cat, because that's what I'm gonna be calling you when I see it in game.
It truly is how it goes these days. And it seems like we'll probably have either a Dapples or 52 out of Yoxcar on PayBack. We're going to have an anchor coming out of them. Nico seems to exclusively play shot from the bit of research I was able to do.
Hey, you know what? Completely fair. But I like the weapon pool that Greeny has listed. I mean, Hydra, Jet, Chargers, and Wellstring. That is an anchor if I have ever seen one.
Yeah, they did get written down as my notes as simply anchor, because it's like, that's too many weapons. You picked too many. Anchor. You picked a genre.
Hey, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Nothing wrong with picking a genre.
Cool. It's completely fair, I think. We are going to begin our best of 5 set. We are now long sets. We're past the best of 3 phase with zones on Mahi Mahi. This another classic here. Doesn't really become a real map until you get past that 61 checkpoint, but still fun nonetheless.
It is. It's always an interesting one. Definitely one where long range has a lot of advantages. So Greeny could have potentially a very good time here. Another very ledge-focused map, as we have many of them in Splatoon 3, quite frankly. Blasters, buckets, all anchors really tend to do well here, although other anchors tend to suffer if there's an E-leader on the other side.
So it pretty much always goes,
yes.
though.
Especially on this stage, though, with how the sight lines are.
Yeah, sight lines are really nice for that leader here, and I would say the leader it can be a little bit less accessible to poking and bullying than other stages where they're kind of forced to be on perches or on ledges that are more easily reachable by a lot of the more common weapons that are trying to displace them. Here you can stand relatively far back on plat and still reach a lot of mid and still can control a lot of space, and it can be harder to get the E-leader off of that plat, especially since it's so wide. If you throw something at them, they can kind of just move to the side and be right back where they were before.
Yeah, they're not nearly as fragile as they usually are. And I guess that same kind of statement would go for a Hydra if Greeny chooses to pull that out here.
True, I love Hydra. I can understand why it's not played very much. I mean, the lack of mobility really, really hurts a lot of times, especially with how fast-paced our game is right now. But it is, I mean, it's a turret is what it is, and it can be devastating in the right hands.
It definitely can be, and I'm very interested in seeing what kind of comps these teams choose to pull out. They're both pretty flexible from what we've seen. So nothing super set in stone in terms of what to expect. So I'm very, very excited about it.
I am as well.
And Mahi is always such a explosive stage when you get the right teams on it. It's so easy to flip that little postage stamp sized zone.
Yeah, especially when the water goes down. That zone is so small compared to all the area that you have to play around it. Like before then I would say, oh, that's, a reasonable zone to stage ratio there. I mean, even it feels like kind of you're getting funneled into the zone there, but then you have a lot more area to work with after that. I mean, it's one of the places that Reef Cheese was seen so much when it was still, extremely viable, and even now that it's not as viable, I would say you still see it here a good amount.
Yeah, it's definitely still a solid stage for Reef Slider, and Reef Slider is something we see much more in low ink than other levels. I think it's just very accessible. I think Dreadringer is a very accessible weapon for people, and that makes it a very popular choice, which is not a bad thing. It's just something we don't see as much at other levels.
Yeah, I think you don't really get the instant cap anymore, of course, but there's still a lot that is put on the zone, and that explosion is still very threatening. As you go higher up and it can get easier to both anticipate and cancel those Reef Sliders, especially because Reef Slider has some silly interactions with some other specials, and with itself, as we saw in the previous set. But here in low ink, it is still. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a very viable tool, but you definitely see it more here. We have the Well String coming out from Greenie. Excited to see how that one plays out. The Red Dapples coming out on here from Yeti as well. Interesting cooler pick for there, and that looks like that's the one cooler that we're seeing on the stage here.
Yeah, we are seeing 252 gals, which not a shock. Yeah, it's definitely not a shock to see two of them these days. It's one of the strongest weapons in the game. We're seeing so much of it in the NA League. We're seeing it across all levels because shooters are always such an accessible class. And we're having a pretty solid opening for PayBack here, but Witch having something to say about it. The 52 gal, though, having more to say with that ridiculously fast 2-shot splat rate.
Yeah, a little rough for a pair of Dapples as they rolled off into the water, unfortunately, but it gets a lot easier once that stage comes up. With the rate that PayBack is progressing at, we are going to see the water drop very soon here. There it goes. We see your favorite cat. Or I get my favorite cat. I guess it's an audience assigned. It's now your favorite cat as well. This leader player here is going to put out the Wavebreaker 2 down on the side of PayBack right now as Yeti on the Dapples goes for it and gets that pick while rolling backwards, getting out of that situation. Nico here on the Trizuka gets one pick and follows it up with another in the main weapon there. It's really nice as Fishy soloq Warriors does have the zone back, but the members of PayBack are lurking around the sides of the zone. Greenie goes down though to Pinhead, and your favorite cat getting another pick. Fishy soloq Warriors in a nice place right now.
They really are. They're well set up. The E-leaders precisely where they want to be, dropping down to try and find a pick, able to stay in this big bubbler, picked off that Zuka easily, but the Wellstring having something to say about it, trying to push in through this side of the map. Ultra Stamp coming out, looking to find something, not quite able to, but does push them away from the zone enough for PayBack to cap it. And now PayBack can take a second to breathe, regather, recoup themselves, as the 52 and Shot do an excellent job creating some strong pinches there.
Yes, they do. 2 down on the soloq Warriors, but Pinhead does not let them stop them as they run and get one pick on Nico and are circling the block right now looking for the second. Yeti is coming in for the assist and pinch goes down, but it is the Fishy soloq Warriors still retains a lot of presence here. As you can see, so much purple on the zone right now. Lux on the gal is going in from the side here, but has been spotted and likely called out. They have the whales, and the combination of that and the Zuka is going to come out, get the zone flipped, 2 down on both sides as the hammer comes out and gets a pick of its own.
The hammer doing a great job there, finding what it needs to allow PayBack to maintain the lead for now. It's not a lot, and neither side has a ton of penalty points to work with, but PayBack doing an excellent job painting up the sides of the stage. Making sure that you maintain that turf control is so vital in moments like this, as well as not spending too much time in the zone, because you don't want your splat to help ink it.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, the little explosion of enemy-colored ink does have an effect on where you're at, and you don't want that on the zone. Yoxikar staying right outside the effective area of that Wavebreaker there, and then popping out to do a little bit of flanking. Does get the pick on your fave cat, and has been spotted getting some damage in, but they did neutralize the zone. It does flip back to Fishy soloq Warriors as Nico is forced to jump out. Our scores relatively similar here, but that penalty is being eaten through at an alarming pace.
Yeah, 30-point penalties always feel like a bit more than they are. It feels like you're going to have plenty of time, but you've got to remember that those points tick by faster than seconds. and it's really never as long as you think it is. As PayBack doing a great job here of trying to break back in, going to be able to, it seems like, flip this zone back just in time, continuously hanging on to the lead by just moments throughout this game, slowly chipping back away at it as PayBack.
3-point differences between our teams as we head into the last minute of our match right now. PayBack is in a good position, getting the pick on your favorite cat, so a lot of the range lost there in the area control. Pinhead and Yeti still trying to do their best to come back into the zone. Yeti going down at the range disadvantage, though, and that means that Fishy solo queue Warriors loses their cooler opportunity. We do have the one special on the board from the Blaster. That's the only special, actually. We see it get popped over on the left side there. The zone flips, and then might flip. Oh, it does flip back as the Zuka finds its shot. Unfortunately, the leader cannot neutralize the zone on their own, so that is our first match going to PayBack.
Yeah, PayBack doing an excellent job of playing the speed they want to play at and really controlling the sides of the stage. It's something that's so easy to overlook. It's so easy to just focus in on the objective, but playing the sides around it is so vital, and they did it very well.
Yeah, nice fist bump to finish things off, and that is our first match. So now we will await our counter pick from the Fishy solo queue Warriors and see if they have anything specific in mind. It
will be interesting to see. It wouldn't shock me to see them stick with zones. It's not an uncommon thing to do, especially in a best of 5, to go, we just lost zones, but what if we do zones again?
Zones 2, if you will.
We love zones 2. Well, maybe we don't, but the players do.
To be fair, though, it can give teams kind of like another start to the set, as it were. I mean, of course, it's not really, but it can let them even ground up a little bit, say, okay, maybe we didn't get what we wanted to out of that match, but we're strong on zones, here's another map that we feel stronger on, and then we can we can make our mark on the board.
Yeah, especially since Mahi is a little different than other zone stages, especially with how much it relies on that water change. It really drastically changes the vibe of the game. But of course, we could always switch over to a Rainmaker or a tower control. I don't typically expect to see a Clam Blitz out of teams like this, but I'd love to be surprised.
That's true. Usually you don't see immediately, I would say. Like, you get it later into the set when you have longer sets when other modes aren't as much of an option for you to pick, and you don't want to pick certain ones, and then you go, okay, well, I don't want to play tower control against these guys or Rainmaker, so we're going to go to Clams. But some teams do it straight out, so we'll see.
Well, Gator, it seems like we are going back to zones on Hagglefish.
Ah, a little bit of deja vu. We've been here before. We'll do it again.
We have, and can't blame them there. They've got an E-leader. They want their E-leader to get to set up really well. Definitely a strong place for them.
Some nice setups that we can see here. I mean, we saw it work out before. I presume this match will play out much the same.
It likely will. E-leader's so good here. Wouldn't mind seeing like an Inkling Tri-Stringer come out here, since we do have a bow player in the lobby. A bit of personal preference there. But definitely hard to play into an E-leader. Inkling just gives you that ability to lay down turf without needing to worry about the E-leader nearly as much.
That's right. Or not necessarily even needing to peek the leader if you don't want to risk it.
Exactly. And they are running a Zuka, which gives them an answer to the E-leader, which is very helpful in days like this, where we don't have things like armor, and Big Bubbler isn't the most common.
Yeah. Oh man, don't even get me started on armor. Those of you who joined the scene after that was a thing, oh my gosh. The whole idea of just completely invalidating the one-shot classes is like...
It was nice.
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't that bad. I didn't play
bad for the game, but it was nice.
Yeah, it was nice to be protected. Also, yeah, I mean, yeah, when you think about it now, the idea of like a global special that has unlimited range, like I think we have Cooler, but Cooler's got a very limited range, and you actually have to worry about where you are. When it's armor, you can pop it from spawn, and your teammates will have it. Like, oh man. You could be fighting somebody, and then they could just get armor and turn the entire interaction around.
And you could be missiled while they have armor. Many such problems.
Good times. Let's not even get started on Stingray. Yeah. See, I like Stingray because I played Stingray.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm the culprit behind it. People that had to go up against Stingray, no. A special weapon that can go through walls, what? It works
You
with
know?
Thermal Link. What?
They sure were experimenting. We've got to give them credit.
Yeah, we'll say I miss the map designs for a lot of them. I think
I
the map
don't.
design-
I looked back
something
at
like
them
the
recently.
Reef.
Yeah,
Yeah?
okay, we all talk about the Reef. We all forget about Black Belly. We can't forget about Black Belly. We must
That's
remember
true.
what their Muscle Forge was bad. Sorry, I recently went back and looked at all the stages in Splatoon 2. Not good, most of them. Like,
Wait.
sure, the stages in Splatoon 3 have their issues. The ones in Splatoon 2 were worse. I promise. It's rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, that's fair. I miss Starfish, honestly.
That's fair. Hagglefish is very similar, so I don't think that they'll ever
Yeah.
exist in the same game on a hunch.
Probably not. No, it does scratch that itch. I miss Camp Sugarfish, honestly. Was it good stage design? Probably not. But do I miss it? I think it was fun. Yes, I do.
That's so
We
fair.
got a couple weapon switches with Yeti going to the sticker stamper here, and Pinhead pulling out the Frozen Splattershot Pro. So hey, we were just talking about missiles. We're gonna see sets of them here.
Yeah, Missile's still a very solid special. Luckily, not what they once were. Always happy
Oh,
about
man.
that. But Fishy soloq Warriors.
The turf that Missiles Inked would contribute to the next missiles. Like,
Yeah. It was not ideal, but Missile's coming out here, really going to allow Fishy soloq Warriors to try and break into this zone. Not able to find the picks they need, though, as Booyah Bum comes out, doesn't manage to take out that Ultra Stamp. Just such a back and forth moment. PayBack somehow holding on to this zone while being 2 down. Yeti looking to move forward, trying to poke at this 52 gal. But that's a hard weapon to poke at.
yeah, and PayBack keeping in control of the zone, actually. The Witch number here with the big bubbler, and still, with all of that being on the zone, PayBack has not had any penalty and just is at 60 now and is continuing to be. I don't know what it is, but they're just continuously keeping control of the zone. Again, 2 down on both sides here, and they're still there. I think it might just be Nico on the shot, just continuously painting over and over everything that is thrown at this zone here. I mean, we were talking about support players earlier. That's why they're so important. They focus the objectives so that you can go get your kills. Greeny putting out another Ultra Stamp, unfortunately getting taken out as Stamp is vulnerable from the back there. But we are almost at 100-0 knockout. If soloq Warriors doesn't do something soon, they could be done. We have another big bubbler on the zone, but it is going to be countered by a Reef Slider directly into it. The zone is neutralized, but still it does not flip. And there's a pick, but it still, again, goes back to PayBack. 2 more down, and finally, with 7 remaining, that zone flips.
Yeah, I mean, PayBack definitely has a much higher inking comp than Fishy soloq Warriors. We all like to pretend that Crow can paint. Crow can paint in theory.
It's for
Is how I
itself,
would-
I would say, and not
Yeah.
much more.
Which is really what you can say about all of their weapons except Snipe Rider. Whereas Wellstring paints really well, Shot paints really well, Blue Dapples paints really well, so does Gal. So PayBack just has that ability to out-ink even with very few weapons on the stage.
Yeah, Greeny again, unfortunately getting taken out right after that hammer. We got the Sprinkler in a nice position on the zone. Looks like the Trizuka did find a pick, and we have Witch Number going down there as well. The Reef Slider coming back in, Lux helping with the paint on the zone as well. It is now back in PayBack's control. The Oxcar on these Blue Dapples is going to take an aggressive stance along with 2 more of their teammates and a third who has just gone down. Even Greeny, who has been pretty forward this entire match, honestly, for someone who's on a lot of those long-range angers. They play them quite aggressively. And the Blaster going down their luck, finding another pick for the road as they are still hanging out on this ledge here. Very hard to displace them.
Yeah, 52 Gal is such a beast of a weapon. That wall just really allows it to hold positions and angles for so long. It's so hypermobile. It really just allows you to be wherever you need to be. You can run stealth jump without an issue. Wellstring doing their best to hold the zone right now. Not going to be able to probably, but I was wrong. The Booyah Bomb coming out, allowing them that extra moment. They do lose the zone, but every extra second it's in PayBack's favor is just so huge right now.
Yeah, the penalties pretty high on both sides, honestly, especially with Fishy soloq Warriors getting another couple added after the zone flip. PayBack is starting to work through. There's Nico on the side there getting 1 pick onto Pinhead. Yeti popping the Booyah Bomb all the way on that right alleyway there, and perhaps catching it on a ledge of some sort as it expands in the middle instead. Lux still trying to eye the zone. We might see another sort of flank coming in here, but the Sprinkler forces them to reveal the location and they have to back up.
Yeah, but they're doing such a great job of skirmishing and being a distraction. It really
Yes,
allows their teammates to keep holding that zone. And now Pinhead dancing around, looking for the space to try and come and get Nico. Nico does jump out, really negating all of that effort put in.
There's that wall again.
Yes, exactly. Excellent wall play from Lux there.
Yeah, I mean it's a shield, and it's works so well with 52. Another Booyah Bomb going out into the zone after that Reef Slider, but PayBack is still going to keep control of it. A lot of blue in front of this zone right now, making it difficult for the soloq Warriors to get back in, though some of those alleyways are still painted orange, so that is definitely a possibility if they want to. Greenie gonna throw that hammer at the leader, or the pen, actually, excuse me, and not find it there. Nico, meanwhile, doing a little bit of ducking and weaving around the stage geometry. 2 down on the side of PayBack, and so the soloq Warriors are going to use this and to take back the zone in just the last 5 seconds of the game with that Booyah Bomb. They now have control of the zone. Nico and Pinhead in a fight with Nico winning there, and so it is overtime with the penalty almost gone. And 2 down on the side of PayBack. soloq Warriors in a really good position right now to hold on to this just for the last 30 or so seconds they need.
They definitely are, but they don't have any specials to help them do it. But PayBack doesn't have a ton to work with either. They go 2 players down. They're going to have to fight for their life to break back in here. The Zuka comes out, but the Zuka can't help paint. They find one. The Reef Slider comes out, neutralizes the zone, able to find something in it, but this sprinkler just slowing them down enough. But they just need to hold this neutral, and it looks like they might be able to as the Wellstringer's peppering shots on the zone. Not quite enough. The Wellstringer finds one pick, trying to find another jumps coming in. PayBack's not going to be able to make it.
Ooh, the Wellstring doing everything they could to hold the zone, but as well as it paints, it can't hold up to 3 members on the opposing team. So even with that whole extended hold that PayBack had at the beginning, soloq Warriors taking this second game, tying up our set 1-1.
And there's somehow already a counter pick in.
Oh, well, I guess PayBack knows exactly what they want, and maybe this is some payback for Fishy soloq Warriors getting pulling through and getting that win. We are immediately going to tower control and Inkblood Art Academy.
Really living wild with our counter picks here, guys.
Like I said, daring today, aren't we?
Living on the edge, I guess. Yeah, both teams should do fine. It's TC Inkblot. All comps pretty much do well on TC Inkblot. Blasters obviously like it here. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Frozen Pro stick around because it's really nice to have a way to displace anchors here.
Yeah.
I imagine we're going to see them sticking with that Wellstring, especially if they didn't switch off of it for Hagglefish zones. So not expecting any massive changes here. We could see the E-Leader come back, but I'd be a little surprised for PayBack to do that.
Yeah, on here specifically, I mean, we talked about it before, perhaps not Leader's best friend. So sticking on the pencil makes a little bit more sense to me here.
It does. I would not disagree at all. And I mean, it's a classic for a reason. It's very predictable. It can be hard to break through that first checkpoint, but after that it becomes pretty smooth flowing oftentimes, but it's not snowball-y the way something like a ship shape is by any means.
Yeah,
it's a classic for a reason.
I would say I used to call Inkblot a little bit snowball-y after that second checkpoint, but after I've seen what can happen on stages like ship shape, this is completely tame compared to that. Of course, it does get... I think with all tower control maps, it gets pretty difficult to stop things if there's a lot of momentum after that second checkpoint, just because then really you only have that third checkpoint as a defense, and so often it's so close to the end anyway that it can be very difficult to defend, especially if you die trying to defend it, and then, oh, the checkpoints are... oh, the game's over, right? But... yeah, here I think you have a little bit more wiggle room. We've got the Octo Shot coming out here as well. That is a Dynamo! And a Dynamo Heavy! Yes! I love this comp! Oh my gosh, my team has played a very similar comp here. If you swap out Stinger Splatana for Carbon, my team has played this exact comp. I love Dynamo Heavy. It puts out just... you can't move against this comp.
Yeah, it definitely puts out a ton of turf. It seems like they're making a big adaptation in that way. They were definitely struggling with it a little bit before, but PayBack looking to move forward very explosively, able to find 3, dropping down on this heavy now as Yoxcar hops on the tower, has that Reef Slider ready, so this checkpoint should be pretty safe for him as they're moving forward. Reef Slider popped, Your Fave Cap forced to jump back. Yoxcar able to distract long enough for that first checkpoint to clear, which is a strong deviation from the first time we saw this stage today on stream.
Very much so. I mean, we're already past that first checkpoint and it's been 45 seconds, which is, as you said, not what we saw before. The cooler is going to come out, the whale's coming out as well. This Dynamo, nice pick from the fall off there. That is 2 down on the side of Payback. Nico is here with the tri-strikes at the ready, opting to back up a little bit here and throw them directly onto the tower. That is all 3 in the same space, so no points for now for the Fishy solo queue Warriors. But Pinhead is going to hop on and start this ball rolling. They're getting close to the whales as well. Nico going down. Favorite Cat on the heavy on the left stack over here, putting down the wave breaker as well. It's a really nice place for a heavy spline to be. They are forced to back up, but get that nice pick and can continue ruling over this left stack.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job at really holding down this space. They might not be finding the most success in moving forward, but they're keeping mid very well, which is the first step to a strong push.
That is true.
And the Wellstring looking to find a way to retaliate, but not going to be able to with Pinhead coming in for this flank. The Dapple having to pivot to look at them, not going to be able to. First checkpoint going down, getting cleared, but somebody does have to get on the tower.
I think there were 2 people on the tower and someone came in from behind and actually cleared off the tower. So for all of that progress made on plat, unfortunately the tower riders went down and so there wasn't a huge amount to be made there. Finally though, we do get to 70 remaining and then that tower turns around in its tracks as that's 2 down. Again, with Yeti going down in mid there, that tower switches sides. Again, it is Payback with the whales. Greeny doesn't get to pop the stamp, unfortunately, but Luke's is here and able to take on this pincer, this 2v1 with their teammates.
Yeah, really great job playing off of each other here from Payback, allowing them to take down the Dynamo in a safer way than usual.
The wall
Pinhead. Yeah, exactly. But Pinhead doing an excellent job of playing around these walls, being an absolute nuisance, and finding pick after pick to enable Fishy solo queue Warriors to really get moving here.
Yeah, those walls tracked through the super jump, and it kind of looked like a laser show the way they completely flipped over as that player jumped back to spawn. Booyah Bomb and Tri-Strikes coming out from opposite sides here. Oh, Yeti going down to that Splat Bomb, which is unfortunate. They could have had so much power in bats here. The Dynamo goes down as well. It does stay alive. Oh, and that's a second pick on Pinhead and the Flow Aura. The last player jumps out here. Which number is still back as the Dynamo on their own plat. So holding down the plat, not a huge amount that's gone down though. The Witch number just barely living there, but your favorite Cat, the heavy splat link down there, and Yoxcar are going to take this opportunity to try and use this little sneaky box jump to get onto the plat. They are getting called out, but consistently being a nuisance nonetheless.
Yeah, being a nuisance is so important, especially on a weapon like Dapple Dually. Really enables your teammates to take advantage of the fact that less things are looking at them. The Wellstring able to find one, looking for a second, but your fave Cat also set up there. The Dapple has managed to cross up and over. The Ultra Stamp comes out, looking to try and find something, taken out by the Wave Breaker. That's the wipeout with a minute left. Fishy solo queue Warriors in an excellent spot right now.
Yeah, the wipeout again is going to make it really difficult for Payback to come back, especially with all of the pink that is in mid right now. Nico gonna throw out some splat bombs. Luke's is actually all the way on the side here, but taken out very quickly by Pinhead. Yogstar is just running for it. Gets the trade. That's 2 down on both sides, but that leaves Nico alone right now. Luke is going to jump in, come in, and Greeny popping that hammer, going down after it though, so they lose a lot of that range and painting power coming from the Wellstring there. That is the Stamper going down on the Fishy solo queue Warriors, and as we head into our last 20 seconds, Payback is trying to slowly but surely make their push, though that tower is going back and they lose 2 players.
Yeah, they really can't afford to be dropping players at this point in time. They need to be able to claim mid, and this Dynamo's making it quite the challenge for them. I mean, if you know the other team has a Dynamo, you probably don't want to take him here, but I'm guessing they were unaware, and Fishy solo queue Warriors able to take that game, leaving Payback to have to pick another counter pick.
Yeah, I think that Payback probably just didn't see the Dynamo switch up coming, wasn't aware that it was something in their arsenal. It is a very valuable tool here on Inkblot and worked out in their favor. I think the combination of it's almost like a glue trap, right? You just can't move, and then the Dynamo comes in from the top rope and you're like, you see the approaching shadow and you're like, this is my life now.
Mm-hmm. And it's just such a ledge-focused map that Dynamo has a lot of angles that it doesn't always get to. Usually there's a little less space to move around in. And we, once again, already have a counter pick straight to RM Scorch Gorge. You know, we could be being less adventurous, I guess.
I guess it doesn't feel as adventurous because we saw it before, but definitely is, you know, not the first pick of a lot of teams, so I think it's definitely fair.
Yeah, and I mean, PayBack really likes to make fast, explosive pushes. Works really well for Rainmaker, works really well for Scorch Gorge. It'll give them a lot of extra space to work with. I don't quite think that we'll see any super major comp changes coming out here, but I'd love to get proven wrong.
That Dynamo would be so funny. Keep it.
Yeah, I would love to see PayBack maybe make some adaptations, but you're very right. That Dynamo would be quite funny here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure PayBack being an established team has a sense of the comps that they're all able to play. So I do wonder if they're like, oh, you know, we have some sort of specific play style or something that we like to do on Rainmaker Scorch Gorge. And that's what's, you know, playing to their own comfort or their own prior planning.
Yeah, well, and especially with a well string, you know that you're going to be able to get pop every time.
That's true, yeah. The object damage on that very much a threat here on Rainmaker.
Yeah, between that and the Ultra Stamp it has, it's a very good choice for Rainmaker in general, especially when you're against a team that isn't necessarily running stuff that's as great for quick pops. The Dapple they've been running also really good for that if the well string happens to not be up and they need to go ahead and pop to keep a push going. Because being able to quick pop does matter so much once you're already moving.
Yeah, when you are in a situation where your Rainmaker carrier goes down, but you still have three other people there, and you're like, okay, if we can keep the momentum going, if we can get this pop, we can get so much more ink down, we can get a couple more points. That's where it's very helpful to have those quick pop weapons.
And you never know. Every once in a while, pop will help you get a couple picks along the way.
Yeah, sometimes people are just in the wrong place, wrong time, or they don't expect pop to be so fast. You know, usually you have a couple of seconds to back off, but not in the case of, ooh, okay! We have a... Sorry, I got distracted by the switch to the charger for the VAC, but that is completely fair. VAC on Rainmaker, I can definitely see that working here. Now, with both the charger... this is a scope, actually. With both the scope and the dynamo here, it is definitely a little bit slower paced of a comp compared to, you know, the Dapples and the Gal and all of the shot doing the running around. The Gal here down early in the game, unfortunately. But if they're confident in that the scope gameplay and they get those VACs in the right time, that is a really good tool for the solo queue warriors.
It definitely is. And we're seeing a pretty slow opening from both of these teams. Nothing too wild going on. Ultra Stamp came out. Didn't find as much value as they probably wanted. Yeti looking to mess around near that Rainmaker. Not quite able to find anything. Bazooka also not quite managing to find anything. Both of these teams feeling each other out a little bit more, it seems.
Yeah, Pinhead using the wall to dodge that Rainmaker, actually, and then get the pick after that, though the Rainmaker did get another one. With the VAC taking out Greenie with the explosion shot, actually, and solo queue warriors are slowly but surely gearing up for a push here with Pinhead getting the nice pick on Yoxcar. That is a full clear path for the Rainmaker. I'm sure they're yelling at someone to pick it up as the Wellstring was the only one alive there. That is the first checkpoint down for Fishy solo queue warriors. And with Pinhead in the flow aura state and already inking the ramp, I'm certain that that is not the last we're going to see of it.
No, already pushed down to 37, a very significant push for this map. Hop able to help find one, but the charger still set up, which means they're going to have jumps in along with this Booyah Bomb. Rainmaker trying to reset, not quite able to reset, but able to drop it down. Good stall, good way of keeping your team in a more stable position than they were. 3 down, just the Gal up. Going to be looking to intercept the Rainmaker quite quickly here. They shouldn't have moved forward without teammates.
Unfortunate, yeah, that Gal was ready and waiting, you know, like lurking for their prey. They were able to get the Rainmaker up and off of that ledge, but man, I mean, this Gal really is just being a menace, unfortunately, running down Greenie as they're alone without teammates, and now that Rainmaker is just going to sit in mid here. Yoxcar is going to try and run down Pinhead and just get run over by that Gal, and we see the Greenie going down, the Whales just surveying over, and Yeti is in possession of this Rainmaker again. So far, I mean, Fishy solo queue warriors have been in possession of the Rainmaker pretty much this entire time.
Yeah, they have. They've been doing an excellent job of controlling the game, controlling the pace, really relying on that Gal player to do what they need to do. And so far, Pinhead has been delivering. Pinhead so far behind, does manage to get taken out, but the Charger and the Dynamo are still up. Going to be able to help give jumps in, going to be able to help lay ink down. just really putting PayBack in a rough position as they're going to have to drop it down once again, but just not going to be able to do much from that position, especially with the charger looking at you.
Yeah, it's a fair position, especially because it can be really difficult to get the Rainmaker out, but it's also because then you're in a pit, and it's just so hard to get anything done after you get the Rainmaker into that position. We see Luke's, the gal of their own, trying to get more picks in. The whales coming out. Yoxcar goes down to the bomb on the wall, unfortunately. The vac coming out, forcing Luke's to go around onto the other side.
Oh, just the gal.
Just the gal, indeed. 3 down. Pinhead has the whales and is going to use those on Luke's as the Rainmaker gets picked up. Luke's gets taken out, though, but Pinhead also going down in an explosion, and that is the first checkpoint for PayBack.
And here's where they can really potentially steamroll it. They're always going to be able to get that pop. Nico finding 1, 2, looking for a 3rd, able to. Gonna try and find the charger now, clearing so much space for their teammate. Switches, going for the knockout, getting it. Excellent job there. That's why you run a well stringer. Quite frankly, that's it. That's what they do. Rainmaker will always be a temperamental mode. Rainmaker will always be a fast mode. And if you feel confident you can make the stronger push, you should play Rainmaker. Because that's what Rainmaker comes down to at the end of the day.
Fist bump to tie things off in a bow. That is it. Exactly what they need and exactly what you pointed out. Getting the pop here was crucial, and Nico getting 1, 2, and 3 going in there. The Reef Slider being ready at the correct time. The wipeout. The Reef Slider fully inked the podium. It was a straight shot for that Rainmaker carrier. Beautiful push from PayBack. A well-oiled machine.
Really well done. And I'd like to point out that I believe the shot did also get the charger there, just to give them the credit of the quad.
Yes.
If you get the quad, I guess you're in the credit. I guess that's fair.
I guess, getting a quad is like, a contribution to the push or something like that.
I suppose. It just
Not that the triple and the flow aura wasn't enough, of course, but a quad is huge. And so now our set 2-2, we're going to a game 5. The pick is in the hands of Fishy soloq warriors, so they do get to set the tone of our match point set, or our match point. Well, match here.
They do, and they can either choose between Rainmaker or Clamblitz. Now is a moment where I'd expect to see Clamblitz with how Rainmaker just went for them, but I've been wrong many a time before, and I'll be wrong many a time still, probably.
To be fair, it was
unavoidable.
Like a Fishy soloq warriors having a lot of the dominance for a lot of the map, and then maybe they're saying like, oh, it's because we all dropped in that we allowed the quad to happen. Maybe if we want, we can stall out Rainmaker for that time again. We'll learn from that last match. But if they don't want that to happen, especially with the well string being ran, I think they probably don't want to leave the door open for that opportunity to happen again. So honestly, I'm with you here. I'll expect Clan Blitz, but we'll see. It's no immediate counter pick, so they're thinking about it.
They are. And the Clan Blitz options, I don't think they're going to take them back to Scorch Gorge. I wouldn't want to return straight to Scorch Gorge right after that. Or we could go to Museum, D'Alfonsino, Umami Ruins, or Barnacle and Dime. All of which are, I'd expect maybe Barnacle and Dime out of those from Fishy soloq warriors. It works really well for those tight spaces they like to play around, it seems. And Dynamo should do particularly well there, I'd think.
For sure. Yeah, very, very wide open. Not a lot of places where the Dynamo can be jumped on and surprised.
Oh,
as opposed
we can go back to zones?
Oh,
yeah.
We can because... Wait,
it wasn't the last map played. It wasn't the last map played. I think we both thought about the ancient low ink rules, Cater.
The one where it's like, if you want on it at all, you can't go back to it.
Yes.
But it wasn't the last one, so we can't go back. So, but
you
were right
2 ones.
Okay. We're so good at reading, guys. But you were right on the map pick. We are going to see Barnacle and Dime.
Should be an exciting one to get into. Once again, Dynamo should do particularly well here. They're even on zone stages so far. It'll be interesting to see what adaptations might be made. I expect that Wellstringer to stay on Wellstringer at this point. They've stuck to it through 4 different stages, 3 different modes. Seems like a very consistent pick. And I do expect that Dynamo to stick around, and maybe we switch back to the heavy here since we're struggling a bit for paint at points on Hagglefish.
Yeah, especially with that having worked for them as a zones comp before. I think it's like oh, if we need a lot of paint, if we have a big zone like that, Heavy Dynamo, and clearly that Heavy can hold their own. I mean, both of them can hold their own as well, but together the sheer amount of paint putting out, that makes it a lot easier for the other two weapons to run around and to do their thing. That's what the painting support is for. And even with the slight nerf that Heavy got to paint, it's still very strong there in the painting category, which honestly, like, I don't think that Heavy really needed that paint buff in the first place. Yes, it did kind of catapult it into the meta, but I feel like all Heavy really needed was just a viable kit, and it would have been fine.
It can't be given viable kits. That's not allowed.
I love Heavy Deco as much as the next person, but like, what about Remix? Remix had a perfectly serviceable kit last game with Booyah Bomb. Like, literally, Point Sensor and Booyah Bomb, I think, was just completely fine for a Heavy. It's not super overpowered.
It's pretty overpowered in Splatoon 3.
Yeah, maybe.
Booyah Bomb is one of the best specials in the game
good,
still.
Yeah. But I was like, I don't know, maybe give it like... Is Wall Zuka a crazy ask for Heavy Splatling? I just...
not really, because Wall uses like 70% of ink tank, and you don't want to give that up.
Back. Like, I really liked that on Heavy Deco in Splatoon 2. I just think that you can give it a sub that like actually works with it a little bit. That's not Sprinkler. The Sprinkler's fine.
We are also
but
seeing
like...
some pretty significant changes coming out.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about
Warriors. That. We're seeing that Junior coming out from INAD. Junior, definitely a solid weapon, gives him that big bubbler. Forge Pro, definitely really good at helping control space, and we did guess right with that Heavy coming back in. And for PayBack, a switch over to that custom blaster, going to give them that splashdown to help cap, as well as a little bit more aggression to hopefully deal with that 52 gal, but it doesn't look like it's quite working for him yet.
Yeah, that Junior player as well, the bomb spam that's going to come out from them can really help in holding especially a couple of these slightly skinnier hallway-like points on this map, especially on the side. We were talking about, the slightly thinner side parts where you can have a little bit of flanks. The bombs and, again, a lot of the paint coming out from the Junior as well can be very, very good. I mean, already we're down to 34. PayBack is doing their best to come back into the zone, but the hammer is going to go down. We do see one pick, but the Reef Slider gets immediately punished. That is a second one, though, and Nico is going to start making their way into the zone. We have Luke's there to support them as well on this blaster. Doesn't find the pick, though, and both of them go down. We're in the single digits now. Yuxar finally able to come back, but that is a full wipeout, and Fishy soloq Warriors 100-0, sprinting away to get the Game 5 win on our final or semi-final set.
I mean, really great to see them do so well on their own counterpick. Definitely really sets the precedent of what counterpicking can do for you. They knew exactly what comp they wanted. They knew what they needed to do there. And I would guess that some of the hesitation and delay was seeing if they wanted to switch some players in from what we just saw. Because we did see at least one player change there.
Yes. INAD came and swapped in on that Junior, so that's probably a little bit more of the time. It's like, if we want to take this, we can swap in our sub, we can do that. And it ended up working out for them quite smoothly, I should say.
It did. They did an excellent job of really playing around their counterpick and doing it excellently. And now we're going to be getting into winners finals here very soon, which should be very exciting between Chery, DeepSync, which has once again not dropped a set all weekend, and Fishy soloq Warriors, who just played very well, both pretty fast-paced teams.
Yeah, Chery DeepSync not dropping a set, but interestingly enough, actually dropping their first game in their semi-set against NeoWave. They lost the first Zones game and then won 3 in a row, which was Rainmaker clans that they played. So if we are... Oh, okay.
Oh, amazing. We're back.
Yeah, we had a Discord blip there, but we're back now. Oh.
It's a classic, really. We're going to be starting off here on Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime. We did just see it. Fishy soloq Warriors loves this. They're going to be riding off of the high of just winning on that exact stage. That's going to put Chery DeepSync on a pretty deep back foot.
Perhaps, yeah, but we saw that they have very strong plays, very aggressive plays as well, and coming off of 3 games in a row won also probably feels pretty good, so I think both of these teams are riding a high coming into this set.
They are. And I think we can guess what kind of comp we're going to see out of Fishy soloq Warriors. Don't think we're going to have major surprises there. In Chery DeepSync, I imagine we're going to see pretty similar stuff out of them. That Dreadringer sticking around.
Yes.
That Slash-O-Matic, the Blaster, and I believe it was a Pencil.
I think so, yes.
So, really stable comp into Fishy soloq's a bit more temperamental but higher paint setup.
Yeah. I wonder how the crab tank interactions will go with that, just because I feel like we haven't really seen a lot of that today, honestly. I feel like the crab weapons like Splash and Dualies, I see a decent amount, just not today. People aren't really feeling it, except for the one Splash player.
Yeah, I imagine that we're just going to see a bit less of them in general, since Crab did just face a bit of a
that is true.
significant nerf.
The explosion nerf is a little rough on Crab.
Like, it's still a very functional, very fine special, but as it has been since the start of the game, they keep having to tune it down. Maybe they finally tuned it down enough, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because we have seen more than enough Crab Tank over the course of Splatoon 3, quite
Oh
frankly.
my goodness, don't even remind me. Yeah. I mean, I know this is a game of crustaceans, but like...
That's
Or no,
it's
it's cephalopods. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some crustaceans, but the cephalopods are the main star of the show, so like...
Yeah. But Crab Tank's been a star for all of the games so far. I can't imagine it will ever fully disappear, just because it's so good at holding space. It's so good at enabling team fights.
Yeah.
It's a pseudo anchor for if your anchor goes down. It just checks so many boxes.
Yeah, there's like if you are playing an anchor, like sometimes I'm not anchor necessarily, but when I play heavy edit nouveau, I'm like, well, it's just a better version of my main weapon. Like I'm very often already in the places to pop Crab. I don't even have to go out of my way to find a high spot or anything.
Yeah, really the reason we don't see Explo anymore.
Yeah, honestly.
But we'll see how it goes here. Definitely can work very well against things like Dynamo and Splatling. It outranges both of them. So does Snipe Rider. That's going to put them on a bit more of a back foot.
Yeah.
And Chery DeepSync does play just as fast as Fishy soloq Warriors, which will make this a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, we're gonna, I mean, it feels like we're gonna be seeing a clash of 2 unstoppable forces here, really. With the styles of play that are so aggressive and so dynamic that we've seen out from both these teams.
Mm-hmm. Which, always love to see it. Love fast-paced gameplay. Love seeing teams go very quickly and adventure and see what they can manage to get away with.
Yeah. It's always very entertaining to me to see like, oh, the zone is flipped. Oh, and that person that's playing aggressive is already basically in the other team's spawn. Like some players will just move in the blink of an eye. It feels like where it's like, oh, okay, now I've taken all of this space for myself because you let me.
Yeah, which very exciting. Always interesting to keep up with. And once again, Barnacle and Dime, a stage where that quick kind of opening can do so very much. Being able to take advantage of a quicker opening really sets you up very well. So I think whoever gets that faster opening and manages to start the lockout might just 100-0.
Yeah, the lockout can be difficult to break out of in this map. The zone's a little bit farther away, I feel, than it is in some maps. Like, it's definitely not terribly far away, but the combination of that and like all the terrain you have to cross, whether that's fully dropping down, it's a lot of dropping down into territory that might be occupied by the other team, or you're trying to drop into the pit area and work your way out from there. All of the different ways that you supposedly have to go out from spawn kind of just lead into the same place.
They really do, and it can help to enable things like Dynamo, but if you have a Crab Tank and a Snipe Rider both looking at something, shouldn't be too much of an issue as long as you've positioned safely.
Yeah, as long as you're not immediately getting shot down yourself.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see what these two teams do into each other, because I could see especially Fishy soloq Warriors changing up their strategy a lot depending on how they feel against Chery DeepSync, because we saw them make a lot of adaptations in that last set.
Yeah, very flexible team, certainly. We are going to head into our first set here of winners finals. We see, yeah, okay, we're keeping the junior. It seems that they really liked the way that worked for them in the last set. So junior, and I don't remember if the Forge Pro was there, but we've definitely seen okay, yeah, so we've seen Pinata Pro. We're going to keep that Booyah Bomb there. And then
very fast opening from that splash. Did get punished for it, but I have to respect the try. Umbra trying to help stabilize a bit, but that's going to be Fishy soloq Warriors able to get a very strong first hold because of a bit of an overextension from the splash there.
Yeah, I can respect the sprint as well, honestly. They are Fishy soloq Warriors continuing to have this zone. Oh, but the big bubbler comes out and the Reef Slider immediately goes directly into it. We've got 2 players down on both sides right now. Pinhead putting out the Booyah Bomb onto the stack of Chery DeepSync, and then going down right after that. The cooler is out. Inat is coming back into the zone, making their way up to the big bubbler. We do have Dream Mode in the crab tank, forced off of the ledge here, but still in a nice place. Had the triple splashdown popped all the way up in front from Chery DeepSync as well, leading to 2 down on the soloq Warriors. That big bubbler popped in the stack here, but Umbra, no fear at all, diving directly into it, and with the help of a teammate getting that pick.
Yeah, really strong first hold here from Chery DeepSync, able to continuously take space, backing off now when they've needed to, allowing Umbra to set up on that left side, which is really not getting pushed hard by Fishy soloq Warriors, leaving Chery DeepSync to really just claim the space. They've gotten a Reef Slider. It looks like this is pretty set in stone, but no, they've got rid of the Reef Slider. They found the blaster. The splash is trying to paint, goes down to Pinhead. Pinhead now rushing down the Snipe Rider, but no, the Dreadringer jumped in. The zone does go into their favor, but the junior gets taken out, and it's just the heavy.
Oh yeah, that heavy backing up as fast as they can, making their way out. Umbra almost calling for almost a little bit of a chase down there. The triple splash as well, taking out the junior player. So Chery DeepSync back in control of the zone again. We see the Dynamo going all the way in the back there, but getting shown by the point sensor, so they can't really sneakily make their way back onto... It looks like they're opting to go up onto Snipe, maybe? Try and take a little bit of the high ground. Taking out Dream Mode as well, who is trying to come around and take them out. Fane here on the Dreadringer has another Reef Slider very soon. This, especially if popped in the pit, could be a very valuable tool.
And it looks like it might be the Splash doing an excellent job of playing distraction, playing that skirmisher role more than we typically see out of a Splash. One last Reef Slider for the fun of it, and Chery DeepSync taking that first game handily.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what we've come to expect from them. Once they have their hold on the zone, it's really difficult to shake them off, and Fishy soloq Warriors was able to do that and get, the flip of the zone, but it felt like they weren't really able to shake the hold that Chery had on the area in front of the zone. And so it's difficult to get back into the zone and have consistent control of that.
It really is, and Chery DeepSync just does an excellent job at not giving up space necessarily, but knowing when to back off enough to take the space back very quickly. Like, they knew losing the zone there was fine, and that they could just quickly take it back. Better to lose the zone than get wiped out and have to rebuild all over again.
Yeah, there are some things that you want to commit to, and there's sometimes it's like they're taking area. If we commit to it too hard, and while they're surging forward, we might, get damaged ourselves. But if we back up and let them come into our territory, then we can understand where they're going to go instead of trying to crash into them headway.
Yeah, very interesting to see. And now, obviously, we're going to be waiting for the counter pick from Fishy soloq Warriors to see how they go about trying to get in the way of Chery DeepSync's run so far today.
Yeah. I do wonder if they're looking back like, oh, they lost on, the one zones map. Maybe we can take them there.
It is an option. They are more than allowed to do that. I hope they don't, but they're very much so allowed.
So they are allowed to go back there if they desire to. Or, we could see some clams. I want to see some clams out of you guys.
Look, I don't think Clam Blitz is real. I think they actually have secretly taken it out when we weren't looking just for today.
No, my Clam Blitz.
Actually, maybe it's getting put back in right now since the NA League is starting up for the day.
Oh, that's so true. They do kind of have to put that back in for that, don't they?
Yeah, they might have just removed it for the last 2 hours, reinstating it right now.
Ah, I see the update is coming in on my Switch. I see.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't mean that Fishy soloq Warriors is going to pick it. It might be one of their safer bets. I'd guess that tower control or clam blitz would be safer bets since Chery DeepSync plays so fast that taking the terrain maker feels exceptionally risky.
Yeah. Huh, I've gotten a picture of a cat holding an E-liter. That's awesome. I'd love to see that.
Incredible, as it should be. But it'll be very exciting. I'm hoping...
You actually shouldn't let your cats near an E-liter. It's really bad for them and for their health because then they might want to become pro Splatoon players and then they won't be able to read. So just be careful.
Well, luckily, pro Splatoon players aren't real. They can't hurt you.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank goodness.
Yes. But we shall see. It seems like they're taking quite a long time to deliberate this counter pick, probably also deciding what players they want in for it, since it seems like one of them might just be for zones.
Oh my goodness, we've got our cat on stream. Hooray!
Incredible. And we are going to be starting our next stage here, TC Shipshape Cargo Co. relatively soon. Finally have a pick in.
Yeah, all right.
It's an interesting one. I imagine they're going to go back over to leader for it.
I would be so surprised if they didn't, honestly. Mm-hmm. This really feels leader to me.
It does. I would have to agree. It's got really open sight lines. It's got grates that are a pain to cross.
Yes.
Chery DeepSync also not running any wall weapons, which allows E-Leader to have a lot more freedom in terms of what they do.
Yeah. The walls are like a sanctuary if you're trying to hide from an E-Leader, but if you don't have him here, then the leader has full reign. And the amount of territory that comes under the control of the E-Leader when they're out is a lot, and it's very important. Like, I would say in some maps, the Persians that the E-Leader has, like, are there, but they're not necessarily the most effective just because the E-Leader from where they're at can't reach a lot of super important places in the map. But really, when they're set up, they can reach everything that you need to be. Like, if you're set up on top left or on the right side, then you get all of court. If you're set up in mid, then you get all of whatever court you're trying to focus on. If you're set up on one of the sides, then you can just fully stare down that way and pick off anybody that's trying to approach you from that direction.
Yeah, and that kind of thing can help make a difference, especially against weapons like Dreadringer or Splash or Blaster, where they're pretty easy to pick off under the right circumstance. It wouldn't shock me to see a big bubbler come out from their Blaster here, but it would be a bit novel considering that the Splashdown kit just feels more up to interpretation for individual players. They are also sticking with that Junior.
Ooh, okay, we've got a Rapid coming into the mix
wrong.
here. Oh, okay. And then, so yeah, we've got, so, okay, interesting. I like where this is going. So, Fishy Solo Queue Warriors, Pinhead is now on the 52 gal here, so I think those whales could come into effect. We don't have a leader, actually, with Chery DeepSync being on that pencil, and yeah, that Rapid is an interesting pick. I did not see that one coming at all.
No, especially because Rapids haven't been at their best lately, to say the least. Admittedly, Rapid Pro has held up a bit better, but still a tough weapon to play in current circumstances. Fishy Solo Queue Warriors getting picked off. The Junior does pop that big bubbler, but able to get run down quite quickly. The Splash-O-Matic able to make quick distractions over here, allowing the rest of their teammates to really get some momentum going. Really playing that skirmisher role once again in a way that we don't expect in the crab tank used for survivability. 3 players looking at him, finally going down, but that allowed their teammates to get all the way through the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and this only being a 2 checkpoint map means you have less opportunities to stall out that tower. I mean, how many does it take how many players does it take to kill one unruly Flash-O-Matic? And it looks like the answer was 3. We did have the the pencil putting out the cooler for Chery DeepSync, and Dream Mode is right back at it in the same place they were before, taking the long scenic route around to go and harass your favorite cat, but they see it coming this time. Fishy Solo Queue Warriors with 3 down though, and Umbra is going to be able to come in and clinch the wipeout with that splashdown, so that tower is back in the hands of Chery DeepSync, and with no checkpoint to stop them, they are able to continue their lead. I think Fishy Solo Queue Warriors has caught on to what Dream Mode is doing.
It does seem like that's the case, but it still takes eyes away from the objective for a second. The Reef Slider comes out, finds 1, 2 down on the side of Fishy soloq Warriors. The Splash-O-Matic skirmishing here with the Dynamo, trying to find the pick, able to. The tower needs to be re-grabbed, but right now we're seeing Chery DeepSync with a lot of stage control.
Yeah, that purple is just so all-encompassing. Oh, a splashdown getting 2 players, and suddenly it's just there's 2 up on the top left, and even with the big bubbler, the other 2 go down, and there's a full wipeout. We are 25 remaining. Ricecake is just hanging out on the tower there. Dreamo's there. Which number has decided to go for the lower route, actually, but it's difficult for them to get the correct angle to get paint on the tower. We do see the tower is actually retaken. That's 2 down, though, and Chery DeepSync is just going to hop right back on. We do have another set of splashdowns. Favorite Cat popping the whales and living through the splashdown, taking him out mid splashdown, but that might not matter if Fate is able to get the Reef Slider off. So many picks going out. 2 down on both sides, but that's 2 remaining. But Umbra is here, gets the pick onto Pinhead. Dreamo is very quickly coming in. Your Favorite Cat goes down as well. Which number is in a sticky situation, having to back off. Umbra in the flow aura on the top right hand. Ricecake here as well. It goes down, but that's 3 down, and Dreamo and the Crab is the only one left, so it looks like, they get another pick!
Dreamo going in for the splats. Just the junior left up on the side of Fishy soloq. Umbra rushing in, grabbing this tower as Dreamo is still up, looking to try and find even more. And they're just continuously jumping in, continuously finding these picks to just barely stay in this. Full wipeout, that's the game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Fishy soloq Warriors fighting with everything they have to not let that be a knockout, but Chery DeepSync just constantly getting the picks. I mean, that splash was a headache to deal with. Like, I don't think I've ever seen such an aggressive splash in my life.
I definitely have, but it's quite a bit.
I guess I'm so used to them playing the slightly more supporting Inking and Crab Tank role that, like, seeing one of them run headlong into the enemy is not what I've come to expect from a Splash player.
No, and I don't think it's their ideal role necessarily. But they have a burst bomb, they have perfect accuracy, they have crazy high mobility, and it makes it very doable for them to play a more skirmishy role like that. We've actually seen Splattershot Jr. used in similar ways every once in a while in high-level play, of it kind of just being a mobile distraction more than anything. Goal necessarily not to get splats, but to be enough of a nuisance that they have to look at it. And I'd say that's similar.
Just kind of feel how, like, iNet has been playing it a little bit in this set as well. I mean, we've also seen them using the big bubbler to draw more attention. It does feel a little bit more team focused the way that they're playing it, especially as they're sticking around and using those bombs to help with chip damage and combos with the rest of their team.
Yeah. I think IMAD is playing Junior a bit more traditionally. There's just been a couple high-level instances where I can remember it. Definitely not a weapon we see the most of these days. I don't know what Fishy soloq Warriors does here. It seems like they're really struggling into Chery DeepSync and their chip comp.
Yeah.
I am not sure what kind of counterpick they should do, because TC didn't work. TC's a safe one. Oh, we're just going to go to Zones Robo. We're not going to think too hard about it. We're going to toss the Zones in there, try and make it work.
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, tossing it back to Zones. I was gonna predict that they do that just because maybe it gives them a bit of a feel of, like, just a little bit more neutral ground. Like, we know how to do this. We can, if we need a time for a breather, we can throw some stuff at the zone and hopefully get the flip, apply the penalty, and then take a little bit more time. Whereas with the other modes, you kind of just have this, you can't really as easily set it back to square one, with maybe the exception of tower control, where the tower slowly but surely will move back if no one's on it. But Chery DeepSync, of course, doesn't seem to be the type to leave the objective unattended like that.
No, not at all. I will say Robo is a bit of a bold pick in my eyes, since it is so lockout heavy and they're already struggling with that a bit. I maybe would have gone with, admittedly, one of the more traditional ones here of a Hagglefish or a Mako Mart. Just something with a little less lockout potential, because it is so easy to get stuck here, especially with how well we saw Chery DeepSync do here earlier.
Yeah, the choke point here is really rough to push through. If you have an explosive special, that Reef Slider, think your Booyah Bombs, sometimes even your Tri-Strikes, it can get easier to clear that out. But if you don't get any picks off of that, team members from the opposing team will just fill right back into the space after they're done with that. Sometimes you have players that are confident in taking the side routes and opening up a flank like that, but especially when you're alone, you're so far away from your team, you can't have someone come over to help you in a 1v2 situation like that. So it can get very hard even if you're trying to have alternative routes back into the zone.
It really can in very distressing ways. So I hope things go smoothly here for them.
Also, the crab tank here is the crab tank likes it here. So
yes.
That's a little worrying for me.
It does also seem like there might have been a player switch on one of the sides, so we might be seeing that out of Fishy solo queue Warriors. It looks like the junior is not going to be sticking with us for right now. So we will see if that ends up making much of a difference for them here.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe they've played this as stronger for another. Looks like I think Yeti has swapped in, I believe, on the Stamper. So yeah, definitely. And that's that's fair. I get that. The Stamper coming in here, the map that's a lot of verticality. I think they can like that a lot. The sticker Stampers, that Booyah Bomb, very nice for clearing out the checkpoint or the zone as well.
Yeah, the splash already in there does get taken out, but slowed down the opening for Fishy solo queue Warriors. Yeti looking to try and find a way forward, but not a lot of space to work with so far. They do have a Booyah Bomb ready. There is a Reef Slider ready on the side of Chery DeepSync that might get them really set up here, and it's looking like it very well might.
Yeah, they are. I'm hoping on seeing it very soon. The Booyah Bomb is ready. There's the Reef Slider directly into that choke point, getting two! Yeti goes down as well, and suddenly it is just the Blaster alive. They go down, and that is a wipeout, that bubble getting run over. And here is that lockout situation that we were worrying about. Chery DeepSync just surging forward. Pinhead does get one, but there's still three that remain that they have to deal with. This Booyah Bomb could be very important, but Dream Mode is just going to go all the way around this right side here and circle around Witch Number, effectively bamboozling them. The two other members do take their opportunity to take them out. Pinhead is spearheading the charge back into the zone and has another Booyah Bomb at the ready. Actually, yeah, with the Forge, this is a double Booyah comp. I didn't realize that they kept the Forge. So with both of that, they're able to make their way back into the zone. Two down, though, and your favorite cat is in a difficult situation. The Reefs managing to avoid the Reef Slider there, actually, but falling down, and they have to jump back.
Yeah, Big Bubbler getting cleaned up pretty quickly. Pinhead gets taken down with it. Yeti popping this Booyah Bomb, probably just trying to stall the zone out at all, but it's going to get painted right over. Your fave cat trying to sneak through. It's not going to be enough. Chery DeepSync looking ridiculously strong, taking this set 3-0.
3-0 indeed. I think Fishy solo queue Warriors were on the brink of something at the end there. I mean, you can see there's blue ink on the zone. They had that one pick as well, with the heavy Slatling finally being able to get onto that glass perch, but unfortunately it was just a couple of seconds too late, and Chery DeepSync will run away with this set, punching their ticket to Grand Finals.
And there's still a chance for a rematch with Fishy solo queue Warriors, but they do have to fight their way back to it.
Yes, they are going to wait in losers finals, and they are going to. We are right now in losers. We're looking at our round 4 matches. Octaves is waiting in losers semis, and then Fishy solo queue Warriors in finals, and then after that, of course, we will be on to grands. But that is all later on, and that will be with a second set of commentators as we hand the mic over to, I'm pulling up the blocks now, we hand it over to Popgun and Grace, an incredible duo. But before we sign off, I want to give a quick shout out to our streamer Inkfair. Of course, this would not happen without them. And Nox, where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky, Twitch, and YouTube at NoxRaven42. And where can they find you?
You can find me at cater.inkling.social, on Blue Sky, commentating a bunch of other things, sometimes in the NA League show. And, oh yeah, I guess that is happening. So after Low Ink, you can go watch the NA League finals today, but watch Low Ink first, because there's going to be some really good action coming at you there. And I will also be at Riptide, so if you plan on being there, then you can say hi to me in person. But we are going to set up the rest of our losers bracket and stream in our alpha bracket. So stay tuned. We'll be handing off the mic and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Low Ink June 2026. I am Popgun, joined by Grace, and we got a doozy of a match for you. But before we get to that, Grace, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How do you define greatness?
This is really good. As Amazing Grace myself, I would have to say I would define it by not overcooking a wonderful piece of meat. So Well-Done Filet Mignon, they're in hot water right now, Popgun, which is also where you should not put a steak. Do not put it in hot water. That is weird. Octaves, though, pretty beautiful, pretty powerful. We were just talking about how, I mean, despite Well-Done Filet Mignon, I don't really like how they're cooking their steak. They did, however, cook Neowave, and they knocked them out in losers round 4 there. Neowave being the only team this entire tournament to take a game off of our friends in grand finals, Chery DeepSync. So I was surprised, to say the least, that they knocked them out there, but they're cooking, apparently.
Well, let me make a few statements here based off what you said. First off,
Okay.
The Chery DeepSync is not our friends. Let's not.
Oh, we hate
Let's
them.
not mince words. Well, it's not that. I mean, we're just not on like friend territory, so we're not gonna talk about them like that because we don't know them like that. They certainly don't know us like that.
You know. Okay.
And also, if you're gonna like cook a well-done filet mignon, you shouldn't put it in a Neowave or a microwave. That is incorrect. So that's why
That's true.
Neowave couldn't get the dub against them earlier. But now they're going up against Octaves, and Well-Done Filet Mignon taking on there. This is going to be a best of 3. Winner gets to move on to losers finals. And Well-Done Filet Mignon has been the best winner of the losers so far. They've won 4 straight matches after losing in the beginning of the tournament. And Octaves just joined them as well. So both teams on a unbelievable winning streak. If you've never paid attention to Low Ink, it seems to happen every single month. But one of them has to lose here, statistically speaking.
Yes, and it would be really, really funny if it was Well-Done Filet Mignon, because the foe that exploded them into losers bracket was Fishy soloq, and they would be fighting them there in the finals. So even if our very, very roughly cooked, horrific steak friends make it out of this match, they've got quite an opponent coming up next, though. So, like you said, best of 3. Anything goes here, but both of these teams have been doing really, really well in this format so far. I mean, not in the first round of winners, because they did make it to losers, but since then it's been great.
Are you a person who consumes meat?
Yes.
Okay. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Okay, same.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, same. I am a fan of the Outback Steakhouse. Longhorn does know my name. Texas Roadhouse, I'm not a fan of her. It's scary there.
Do they have the peanut shells? Or am I thinking of
I think so.
Or something?
I think so, but I wouldn't know because Texas Roadhouse, I'm not very good friends with her. I like the bread. That's great, but it is scary in there. I don't like the vibes.
So you're on better terms with Chery DeepSync than you are with Texas Roadhouse.
I would say so, yes. And I don't even know my friend's Chery DeepSync that well. All I know is that everyone in our lovely Twitch chat earlier was like, this is brutal, watching that winners finals there. So speaking of brutal, we're gonna go to everybody knows this map mode, Splat Zone's Hagglefish Market. My favorite part about this map is that you can hit the boxes at the start and near the zone, and you slam into them. And that's my favorite part.
It'd be a great feature if that actually blocked your ink somehow, and that like actually played a role, kind of like the pigeons at the reef.
Yes.
But those just there purely for the aesthetics. You can't destroy any of that stuff here, but you can do a flank. If you're light boy, although that does get shot down immediately like Le Bombe.
I like this though. I was gonna say that they were about to cook possibly that ink back, which we've been seeing a lot more lately, which I love to see. But they don't quite get the kill on them here. So Filet Mignon on the back foot, already one down here. The Kraken makes it out of there. They ran into that little corner, which is great. But Octaves here, they are showing up. They have this nice little formation in front of the zone. They're not quite pushing up so far that they're in risk of getting picked off here. I say that, although one of them does just explode, but that's okay. Let's just eat that crab. Yeah, it's fine.
So Filet Mignon's comp here as I'm looking at it. Octobrush, Tampered Dualies, and Splatter Shot. Not the longest range thing we've ever seen. But the question is going to be, how do you break out of your spawn with something like that? You're going to have to eat up a lot of splats. But your comp is built to do a bunch of flanks, which is going to work out here. The problem is you can't break out of your own spawn. The Kraken's going to do a good job because the Kraken can force all the players out of mid into those flank areas, which you should have control of. So they will extend this before the hands get thrown down. But I'm questioning the comp that they're bringing here. They're going to have to be hyper-aggressive with it if they want to pull it out.
Yeah, and I mean, especially on zones, I feel like going into a team that has Wellstring, we knew Octaves was going to bring out this Wellstring here, right, Popgun? So it's like going... Oh, okay. Well, I
don't know anything about this team.
I'm inside of their brains. I do live in their house. I can hear them calling out right now. So with the Wellstring, I feel like it's really hard to go up against that with this hyper-aggressive team because they're just going to zone you out here. You know, I say that. They do sit there onto the blaster trying to isolate some people, and they do, which is awesome here for our Well-Done Filet Mignon friends. But, I mean, they're going to be sharking. We can already see that they're struggling to keep up the paint in front of them here, though. Like, they can stick in the zone. They can fight them once they meet them face-to-face. But Octaves has a lot of tools here to get them back into the zone. And it's going to be hard for our Filet Mignon friends. Oh, okay. Or the brush just kills. Okay. Well.
I just noticed Filet Mignon has double zip caster as well. So they have a lot of different things. They can just fly across the map in conjunction with the Kraken and the Crab that they have to hold on here. By the way, they're flirting with coming all the way back and getting the KO in their first attempt at stabbing the zone. The hands are going to be thrown down. That's not going to accomplish much, although one player does go down. 2v2 situation with everything on the line, and now it's just the Octobrush Spider-Man for the swag. Well done, Filet Mignon. It didn't look good until it did.
Listen, it is a brand new day here for Filet Mignon. My gosh. We were cooking them for their comp there, but I think Octaves kind of played into their hand there. I mean, especially at the end, like as soon as they got those picks, they just kind of funneled down into them and fought them on their home turf, which that's what Filet Mignon wants you to do there. They want you to fight them face to face with no tools, with no range to help you in the fight, because if you're right in front of them, they're probably going to clean house.
And this is, yet again, a best of 3, not like a best of 5 that you just witnessed in winners finals. So well done, Filet Mignon. One win away from their 5th straight match win down here in the loser side of things. In fact, they have won 3 game 3s in a row to get to this point. Octaves has been making a couple of counter picks along the way here as well, and this is their counter pick to make. Keep in mind, they can go with anything, and they're opting to go with Rainmaker Undertow Spillway, the #1 picked Rainmaker stage in the Splatoon 3 North American League, which you guys are not watching. You're watching Rainmaker right now.
It's true. Never heard of her. But I like this pick for Octaves. I feel like they might be trying to go for a little bit of a stall fest. I can see, especially with the Wellstring. Makes a lot of sense. I feel like there's some funny ledge stuff you can do, though. So for Filet Mignon, I don't think they're totally down and out with this counter pick either. But I see why it's a very, very popular pick. I think it's fun. There's a bunch of different routes you can do. A lot of specials work on it, too. It's an interesting map mode, too.
You used to never be able to go right. Or if you did, you'd get scolded by your captain in VC if you did so. But the vacuum allows you to do that if you need to hit a home run. And I think we've seen some slight more usage of that, but I feel like there's still a lot of potential there. You're not going to get a KO if you go that way, but late in the game, if you need to get a lot of points quickly or clear a checkpoint immediately and you got a vacuum ready to go, that's a really good option to go with here as both teams are ready up. Potential match clutching point for Well Done Filet Mignon to go up against Octaves here, as the Wellstringer is going to be a very good choice to go with this. Makes sense that they would pick it. Wellstringer and Rainmaker, very popular amongst the low ink populace. Still, the hyper aggression coming out with double zip caster. In fact, no comp changes whatsoever on the side of Well Done Filet Mignon.
Yeah, and I mean, especially the custom blaster as well, I feel like I'm seeing so much of. Okay, the ink vac already getting popped in the first 15 seconds here. Makes a lot of sense. They're getting a lot of aggression here onto the right. They might want to try to sweep to the right a little bit here. I mean, I see Rose getting some aggression here on the left, pulling 2 members away. so that the Rainmaker gets some space to move up here. But with that crab popping as well here, Popgun, I also would run into my teammates' loving arms. I mean, despite the range that Octaves has, they aren't really able to make much happen so far.
If you're going to use that vacuum early on, you got to push up a little bit more with it, not just capture the right side of mids, put the pressure on the enemy side, especially when they got 2 sword weapons. They're just going to come right on in and start whapping away at it with their brushes and their swords. The Rainmaker will be cleared, so the checkpoint goes down into the favor of the team that is currently up in this match, Manty Panty. What a fantastic name. You know, I did verification for this month, and I almost was like, what am I going to do with this? Obviously, they're playing with that name, but here they are.
Here they are, front and center.
And pantying around, yeah.
You know, and they did just explode. Maybe that's because we were talking about them too much, but I still like that name. My favorite names are the ones that you're like, I do like it. Can you play with it? Probably. But looking at Filet Mignon's aggression here, they're keeping the Rainmaker on Octave's side of the map, which I really, really like. I feel like offense is the best defense, especially if you're running a comp like this. You have to be in their face at all times. Lebob here maybe wants to do a little Spider-Man moment once again. But they really, really like sharking, which I can understand here, but with those point sensors, it's going to be tough to make any sneaky plays actually happen. You're going to be pulling away aggression from mid here, but the poor Filet Mignon friends here have to back up, have to shark once again. Like I said, they love sharking, but they're not quite able to crack that checkpoint there onto the right. Maybe their captain is yelling at them, like you said, Popgun.
Well, they had the right idea. They had the vacuum but the more I look at this comp, the more I realize the vacuum's just going to have issues being as effective as it want to be, because you can get the melee weapons in there and shut down the vacuum. It's not, you can't absorb the actual stamper or the actual Octobrush, although you can take the ink away from it. So there's plenty of things they can do to shut that down. But they are thinking that, look, all we got to do is clear a checkpoint. It's essentially a tie game at this point. Mentally gets us back into this one. But they're having a lot of difficulty, obviously, getting set up. And there's Le Bob, Le popping them. And look, yeah, you got vacuum. I literally do not care. I literally do not care.
No, I feel like whenever, I know somebody who runs back, or whenever I hear the teams commenting about having an ink back on the field, it's like, okay, if the sword is up, stamper, any kind of weapon like that, like the melee weapons you were talking about, I get scared. I'm shaking in my boots because they're gonna run up at me and they're gonna slash at my face and I can't do anything. I have to just sit here awkwardly holding this wonderful ink back in my hands here. But Le Bob clearing the pathway here for their friends here holding the Rainmaker. The stamp's gonna come out. I can't quite stop it there, but the Kraken hopefully going for a bit of a repop. But Lightboy, I see you. They've studied in a school of Le Bob's sharking there, able to get a pick onto Le Bob themselves, and they stop the Rainmaker in its tracks. But a minute and a half left into this game here, Popgun. They're at 44 remaining. That's not too far. If they're able to crack that checkpoint, Octaves, like, it's not that much of an uphill battle as it may look.
Why are they grabbing the rain? Yeah, but the problem is they're not getting the Rainmaker even back to mid at this point. The defense being put out by Filet Mignon is just overwhelming Octaves at this point, and they're having to spend so much time just playing whack-a-mole instead of being able to find a way to grab the ringer and start push up. And here comes the lead evaporating into something much larger this time around. 28 remaining, only 45 seconds left to go. Still a checkpoint that needs to be cleared by Octaves, and you saw just how pink the entire stage is. Rose is just going to jump into a pool of the enemy's ink and try to work around with 30 seconds left to go, and that vacuum that hasn't really been effective isn't even close to being ready anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, even when it is ready, they're probably just going to shred right through it there. Yeah, they're going to get a pick there onto the gal. The Rainmaker is going to get pinched there. Amazing, amazing coordination from Filet Mignon. They made the Rainmaker bob and weave right to get them away from their friend, and then they sweep them up for the kill there. So, like, less than 10 seconds left here. Lightboy gets that splashdown. Again, completely disorganizes the members of Filet Mignon. But are we going to be able to see a push from them here? They do have them backed up. Okay. They do take care of little Spider-Man there. Awesome. But I think they want to go right, Popgun, and I'm scared. I'm scared of it.
Going right, okay, it makes no sense to go right in this context. You have to go left, because even if you clear the checkpoint on the right, you're not going to get the 27 remaining right underneath their spawn like that. And the more you wait, the more these specials come out. You're just going to wait for a Kraken. You're going to get another Zipcaster. So you got to, I mean, it's not really a winnable situation. Let's just be honest here. Good effort, good fight. The counter pick, though, just when you're going up against the enemy comp that just naturally shuts down everything you want to do offensively with the Rainmaker, it's going to be a tough uphill battle. Ultimately works out as Well-Done Filet Mignon. Not overcooked just yet. They're moving on to losers finals.
Listen, well done, filet mignon. Very, very well done from them there. I feel like they figured out Octaves so well that they just couldn't really do anything. Like you said, like with the comp, it felt like anytime they wanted to do anything with what their weapons are good at, they got shut down immediately. Just, I'm clapping in a circle for our lovely steak friends here. Even if I don't agree with their choice of cooking it, I still think they did cook, indeed.
Clapping in a circle? What is that supposed to symbolize?
I don't know. I just think it's funny.
Okay. Circling back to that conversation we're having about greatness.
Oh.
What are some of your all-time greats?
Whoa. At all? In the world?
Just in general. Yeah, all-time greats. When I say the phrase all-time greats, what are some of the things that come to your mind?
I think of movie stuff. I think of like directors like Ryan Coogler, like Sinners. I think of the greats like that. I don't think of Timothée Chalamet. He's been upsetting me lately, that little string bean man. But I like Michael B. Jordan winning the Oscar. Very, very great here. Now, Well-Done Filet Mignon, can they be my Michael B. Jordan? We may see.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to get you to relate this to Well-Done. I was trying to get you to relate this to me.
Oh. Do you want to be my Michael B. Jordan?
No, I was just saying I would assume I would be like, when you think of greatness, you would think of like old Pop Gun first. But no, you went with the Well-Done Filet Mignon being compared to Michael B. Jordan.
Well, I don't know yet.
Wow.
We'll have to see. We have to see.
Wow.
Panty, listen. We have to see how they do in this set, okay? And listen, you are one of the greats. Happy Father's Day, first of all.
Oh, well, I thank you for saying so. You're making me blush. Oh my god.
Aw, ladies. Okay, but yes, I would be. I mean, I am really, really happy that we're getting this set though, because it would have been very, very funny if it was Octaves, but Well-Done Filet Mignon. Fishy Solo Queue Warriors. This is a rematch, Popgun. Fishy Solo Queue Warriors. Yeah, from round 1. They're the ones that knocked them down into losers.
It was you!
It was you! It's true. Yeah, no, oh my gosh, look, the bracket view. It's beautiful. Yeah, see right there? They did it. It's in 4K.
Hold on.
It's crazy.
I was looking at something completely different.
That's
than
okay.
what you're doing. I was also kind of halfway paying attention. Okay, so Fishy, Solo Queue Warriors, Well-Done Filet Mignon. Okay, so since we have magical powers in the low ink bracket, we can actually look and see what stages these two teams played against each other. So game 1 was won by Well-Done Filet Mignon. It was Splat Zones at Hagglefish, and then Fishy counterpicked Ship Shape Tower Control. They won that. And then Filet Mignon counterpicked Clam Blitz at Umami. And obviously Fishy won that one. So we'll keep an eye on that. Because it is very difficult to beat the same team twice in the same tournament. Especially in the same day when you're kind of back and forth with each other. Because the team that loses is going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and want some revenge. A grudge match. And they have more information. But we'll also see if teams fall into that trap of, well, we beat them here, so let's counterpick this like we did last time. And then that's usually doesn't always work out. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go. This is going to be a long, lengthy best-of-5 bar fight between these two teams that have names that you really have to stop and think about for a second.
Yeah, and I think that's beautiful, Popgun. Now, when you think about the greats, who comes to mind for you?
Me.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Of course. That's it.
I mean, it's not conceited to say that, right? I mean, I think I'm justified.
No, I don't think that's conceited at all.
I think of Ink Fair,
Oh,
our lovely and talented streamer.
mhm.
That's one person I think about. Do I think about you?
I don't think about myself.
Okay, well that's fine.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you should
Oh.
think about yourself. You are you, after all.
Sometimes when I look in the mirror, there's nothing there. I am a vampire.
Oh, well, what are you doing up right now? Do you not? Is there no sun?
No, I just really like low ink. I'm actually burning right now. But I really like it.
I'm burning for low ink. Da, 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 na, na. Well-Done Filet Mignon is already burned. In fact, they had to burn quite a bit to become well done. No pink in them whatsoever. So
Disgusting.
Fishy soloq Warriors is the new team. In fact, I think we just saw them on stream losing to Chery DeepSync. But other than that, they got a 3-2 win over PayBack. We saw that earlier on stream. Musiku. They beat them 2-1. In fact, Fishy soloq has played the maximum you can in every match that they've won. They've gone the distance to a game 3 or a game 5. And then maybe they just ran out a little bit of energy against the team that's been looking pretty solid all weekend long. So we'll see if they can reclaim some of that magic. Going up against a team that has won 5 matches in a row. Difficult to do.
That is very, very difficult to do. I mean, we talked about how it's funny, like it looks like in every low ink there's like a crazy losers run for somebody, but it is like a test of stamina, and it kind of gets your blood pumping, because at least in like, what does it start at? Semis, yes, where it's the best of 5 instead of the best of 3. It's very nerve-wracking to be in a best of 3, especially in the losers section, because one little slip up, or 2, I guess technically 2, you get knocked out. So I'm sure Well-Done Filet Mignon, their blood is pumping, but there is no blood pumping left in that steak because they did kill it. Let's see if Fishy soloq Warriors kills them. We'll see if they knock them out again.
We will see if a murder will take place live on the IPL stream.
Wonderful.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month. I support gay rights and gay wrongs, and this is why you're watching low ink instead of the NA League, because we do kill people live.
What? Why are you like this? What? Who put you on the mic?
I don't know, man. Listen, I got that ping late Friday night. I was in a very large bathtub. I was actually at Mahi Mahi Resort, and I was drowning in the water. And I got that ping, and I said, "Oh, brushstrokes."
Oh, brushstrokes. He's a silly one. By the way, shout out to Brush and Lepus for soloing staffing of low ink yesterday. And
yes.
Did you know we set a record? And this is true. That was the fastest day 1 low ink ever.
Ever. I was wondering. I felt like it ended so early.
3 hours and 12 minutes.
Wow, that's less than like an entire SOS run.
Well, how many matches do you play in an SOS to win it? Probably 7. 3 and then 4.
That's true.
Yes. So we're playing 6. So it shouldn't be faster.
Yes,
or it should be faster.
And those two numbers have no correlation.
3 and oh gosh. Well, it's not.
That's okay. Absolutely.
Anyways, we are waiting on one more player to join up. We hope you are doing fine in chat, those of you that are watching this and listening to us. If you're not doing fine, that's so be it. Them's the breaks. Not everybody can enjoy watching this stream, but we appreciate your viewership nonetheless. And yeah.
Yeah, and I am devastated that Clan Blitz is no longer in the chat. My favorite member of the chat during SOS or Low Ink. Because every time they pop into the chat, sometimes they'll come in during the Splat only editions of Swimmer Sync, and they'll say, "Any claims today?" And I go, "I'm so sorry, Clan Blitz, no." And they say, "Oh," and then I always hear like a rock getting thrown at my window. I think they know where I live. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask how you were doing. Did you graduate?
Yeah. I did. I graduated college.
Let's go.
Let's go. Big ups. The job
Big
market's
ups.
terrible.
Oh, what do you
It's
mean? You are.
horrific.
What do you mean that you already got a job? You're the co-director of IPL.
You know, that is true. It is a full-time job.
It
I get
is-
1 million messages a day. No, I'm kidding. I don't get like any messages. It's very eventful, though. It's very fun.
Can you leak some things that you've been working on behind the scenes? Like you've been, I think you've been in contact with Doritos to get a sponsorship going with that.
Yes,
Uh,
actually.
We know you haven't been in contact with Longhorn Steakhouse or Texas Roadhouse.
No, absolutely not. That's actually hilarious that we're bringing those up because I did at one point, I think this is when I was low ink staff, I did email Outback and asked if they would sponsor low ink. I'll have to look at my email. I swear to God. I swear to God this happened. And they did not respond to me. So let's just say maybe Well-Done Filet Mignon is the champion in our hearts because, you know, Outback did me wrong.
Didn't you
Maybe-
reach out to someone and they did respond back with like a polite no, but they at least respond back?
Yes, I vaguely remember.
Was it Doritos? I think it was. I think they were like, hey, thanks for the
someone
reach
like
out.
that.
No, but thank you.
Listen, I think we would have better luck with like an energy drink or like something nautical themed. Like something, what's an example? Like
Captain D's. Are those still a thing? Is that? I think they closed the
don't
ones
know.
around my place.
we could do like
Long John Silver's.
Okay. What else? What else is there? Bass
Not
Pro
a
Shop.
thing. Red Lobster, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
Bass
Red
Pro Shop. Yeah, that's
Lobster.
great. Yeah.
Yes, Red Lobster. They
Yeah.
got the new CEO. Isn't he a beautiful man? Let me look him up.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Why would I know? I don't know COs.
No, because he's like young and everyone's. Oh, he is. I just looked him up. He's a beautiful man.
Oh wow.
Because he like turned around the business here, and we can be like, as a young CEO yourself, you would know Splatoon is a young game. Everyone who plays it, 10 years old, and they also
At least 13.
allegedly,
waivers that say
allegedly,
that.
that's true.
We don't have to stall anymore because these two teams decided to take time out of their day to join the lobby and play the video game for us. So we're at Mahi Mahi Resort. That is that what?
Oh,
What are we doing here? So
Um,
you know what? Is that the team that's no? That's not the team called Solo Queue Warriors because that would be appropriate because there's always some doggone solo queue person in a lobby that does nothing but spams Booyah Bomb with the gold arrow spray, thinking that they're helping.
listen, I think that is a little, or rather, I think Filet Mignon subbed in that lovely person there because I don't recognize Boss from the other set that we just watched here, though. But what I am very excited about is the fact that Filet Mignon absolutely cooked Fishy Solo Queue Warriors. Arrow spray be darned here. They're going to crab here on this snipe, which is an amazing, amazing crab position. They're kind of spreading out the members of Fishy Solo Queue Warriors. Old Radabor, sorry, that's a hilarious name, coming in there with a zip to further disrupt them here, but they are going to get taken out here. Manty Panty, once again, cleaning house, getting a nice double. Once again here, the water be dropping, the cooler be dropping, and I too will be dropping out from college.
So it is the stamper that is gone for Fishy's Well-Done Filet Mignon in place of the Boss arrow spray that can crank out quite a lot of Booyah Bombs. And if you're going up against like a pencil, it'd be a good job to be constantly throwing those things at the pencil, constantly getting them displaced. But they're not going up against that right now. Instead, they're going up against what is going to be Pinhead. Who you calling a pinhead? Trying to build up another Kraken so they can start pushing up. We got the Kraken versus Kraken splatter shot matchup. You know, we were expecting to see that a lot when that weapon was first introduced, especially in Rainmaker. We don't see it at all, except we're seeing it a mirror match of it right here in Losers Finals of Blowing.
Yeah, I feel like you only see it if folks are really, really confident in their Krakens, which, you know, I do love and support that here. But looking at this, the time, it is ticking down here, Pawsicle. 20 ticks left. Pinhead, who you calling Pinhead, back here in the back line with that Kraken. Really, really smart movement and play there. Oh, I mean, the zone did just flip, so that's a little embarrassing. But our friend here is going to jump out as the last person remaining on Filet Mignon here. Yeti here opting to back up, which I also think is very smart. You can't get too aggressive. Don't get too hasty on zone lockouts because you're basically running into their hand.
You gotta just build up some specials. All 4 specials online for Filet Mignon, by the way. And it's not gonna result in anything. 2 players go down, a Booyah Bomb on the right side. Spider-Man doesn't even get deployed. That's a delayed wipeout.
Ooh.
Wow, we took your best punch and we're still standing. That's some anime nonsense right there. And that should close things out here. I don't know how you don't find a way to win after that impressive of a hold. And it's not gonna be enough. Well done, Filet Mignon throws a punch, and Fishy soloq Warriors could not care less.
My golly gosh. Not to put Manty Panty in the spotlight there in a negative connotation. There was 2 crabs in a row where some special was thrown at them and they just took it, like they just sat there and took it, which I think is hilarious. But other than that, it felt like Fishy soloq Warriors were always ready for the specials that they were going to throw at the zone. I mean, maybe it was a predictable lineup of where they popped them. I mentioned the crab, but like Booyah Bombs as well coming out from Boss. Maybe the formula was predictable to them, so they were able to retaliate and lock them out really, really well. But regardless of how or why, Fishy soloq Warriors showing up here and showing us why they beat Well-Done Filet Mignon there in winners round 1. Crazy.
The only game they lost to them was in Splat Zones. It was Splat Zones Hagglefish Market. This time around, they get the win on Splat Zones, and it was looking like they were about to get run out of the stage. To be quite honest with you, because in my mind it was like, okay, are they a little bit sluggish coming off of the 3-0 loss? Has the fact that they've been going to the maximum amount of games all the way across, has that started to weigh on them? And then they were able to find ways to get some splats necessary. And I can't believe all 4 specials deployed at once. And it didn't do a single doggone thing. Not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, and it felt like they took them out kind of like one by one too. Like it wasn't even like an explosion, like a bomb killed, like did something. It was like they took out the crab tank, I think. Then they just painted over the Booyah Bomb from Boss. And I forget the other 2 specials, but I'm sure they were really good too. But you know what else is really good? I'm sure they're not in chat anymore, but Clam Blitz, Pop Gun Clam Blitz.
Oh,
I love it.
Oh
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Clam Blitz.
Clam Blitz, Scorch Gorge. My favorite thing about this stage is the weird rock things in the background. You see that jellyfish? You see him? You see that jelly climbing that rock? How do you get up there?
There's so for the Splat World Series, or Global Gauntlet, we have this like graphic that whenever somebody selects the stage, we do like a little like drone shot overview of the. I don't know how we got all of that stuff. But for Hammerhead, there's a clip of like a jelly that's like working on there that's like hanging on, like is about to fall to their
for
death.
Dear life.
Yeah, and that's what I think of whenever I think of those jellies. It's just like, oh, look at this person who's literally about to die. Let's film it.
Yeah,
let's put this in. Why is that even a
enhance.
thing in the game? Like, who programmed that in? They're like, let's just leave this here.
Listen, maybe they put that in there. Maybe they secretly hate all the jellies, and that's why they did that to them. My favorite part, when I was a youngin' playing Splatoon 2.
Hammerhead. It was Hammerhead to our Ink Fair who was asking about it. Oh, by the way, what you laughed at Ratibor? What's the joke with that? I don't get.
I don't know, because it made me think of a rat.
Okay, well, thank you.
Because you know, like brushes are very like ratty weapons. Like.
Well, speaking of which, we now have 2 brushes. This time, the Aerospray is opting to go with an ink brush. So switching things up, giving them a little bit more mobility. Probably think we don't need the Booyah Bomb spam here. Instead, let's find other ways to be effective on Clam Blitzes. We already built up a power clam, but how are they going to find ways to bust through and get in?
I mean, we saw a very similar all-aggressive, no kind of backline skeleton kind of comp here coming up from Filet Mignon in the previous set that we saw here, and I think that's coming to bite them right now because you kind of need that stability. It feels like on clams, you kind of need that friend in the back line to help you to jump back to as well here. But who you calling Pinhead scoring a bajillion clams? They're cycling them to a pop gun, and they're gonna wipe them again. Gosh, let that well-done steak breathe. My gosh.
No, I mean, this is their counter pick. This is where they wanted to go. Give them what they want. They're playing Clam Blitz, all right. And Okay, so here's what you don't want to do if you're a Fishy soloq warrior. You don't want to get wiped out right here. You don't want to end the basket. You want to end it with your players still on the stage and some clams ready to go. So this is the perfect way to end that push if you're not going to get the KO. Because now they still have control of mid. They're dealing with everything else that's being thrown at them. They're going to have another power clam, and they're just going to keep this push going yet again. And they're just leaving no clams. No clams for poor little Well-Done Filet Mignon. They want to play too.
My gosh, I feels like clams is such a numbers game, and once you kind of realize that, like the whole locking the pods, making sure that they have none on the map that they can grab from, it really does feel like you're doing some math here, and I can't do any math here, Pawsette, but this Kraken does not care about math. They're in this back line. Ooh, getting a double, which is awesome. It's going to kind of discombobulate Fishy soloq warriors here. They're going to go in with this whale. They're pushing up together, these two brushes holding hands here. They're going to crack open the basket, but they're not really able to follow up off of it, dare I say. Yeah, Manty Panty here, top mid, trying to maybe keep some presence in mid as well, but with no friends in front of them here, with no one else to back them up, it looks like Fishy soloq warriors pretty much sneezes at that push that they attempted there and says, well, we're just going to take mid right out from under you.
And I like the aggression coming out from Fishy as well. Not going to let the enemy team set up shop. We're going to build up the specials. We're going to take the fight to them. We're not going to let them establish control of mid like that Dooley player was trying to do. Instead, they pop the basket, but this might be a bit of a misplay here. Okay, the Dynamo going to back off. I don't know why these players are jumping in here. This is a dead push, and now that's a delayed wipeout. So now finally, control of mid just going to be given over to Well-Done Filet Mignon. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, popping the crab, really, really smart because it kind of extends the control that they have forward into under the basket as well here. We talked about how they already have control of mid. They rush in there. While they do go down, it does open up some space for this Kraken to come in, for their teammates with the whale, again, trying to get some more pressure here under this basket. But their Dynamo, again, with that kind of backline. Oh, never mind. They're dead. The members here of Well-Done Filet Mignon are going to push up in here. They're going to get another power clam in. If they're able to cycle these clams, Pop Gun, we might be seeing why they wanted to counter it so bad.
They're getting lead right here. This brush is going to slip right on in. Watch.
Watch. Okay.
Here they go. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. I like that. I like that back out right there. Look, 33 penalty points remaining. You just got to throw 2 power clams at the basket. You have the lead right there. But again, why are you pushing with little resources that you have, Fishy? You're just going to give control of mid to the team that has been struggling to get control of mid. You finally give them the one thing they haven't had all game long, and look what they do with it. They go to 23 remaining off of just one push.
And I mean, with all of this, you know, we kind of talk about their presence in mid. It's not always just with paint either. It feels like Well-Done Filet Mignon doesn't really care about winning the paint battle if they are in the objective space there. They don't even care that all that paint is behind them. They score regardless. I don't think they're going to be able to make anything else come of that either. But Manty Panty here, sitting in mid, gets a pick. Again, this slows down Fishy soloq warriors. Even if they're not winning the paint war completely here in mid, they are stopping them from pushing. And I mean, here, Radabor was it a quad or at least a triple there? And Pinhead, who you call Pinhead, is going to jump in here. They have to run from behind that power clam to try to stop them here. They're going to face it head on here. But there is enough clams there to get the lead from the snipe. Lock the pods, folks. They basically handed them that lead swap there by not grabbing those clams in their own snipe. My gosh.
I love that push by Well-Done. You send the brush just beelining up the ramp that forces players to deal with it, but then you got another player coming along the backside as well, so they create a pincer on the bracket, but now there's all kinds of nonsense going down. One more player jumping in with nothing to their name, says goodbye. Oh, Well-Done Filet Mignon. They find a way to bounce back into this one as long as no, there's no way the Junior can get up there. There's no way the Junior can get up there. We are done. We're going to a game 3 with the match tied 1 apiece.
Yes, and the most, I mean, the biggest storytelling there was not even how that match ended. It was at the end there, that Junior, Splattershot Junior, running for dear life towards the basket. They were befallen. They went down by their biggest comrade, the Splat Bomb, on the opposing team. Tragic, but it was expected there. My gosh. Well done, Filet Mignon. Well done. Well done Filet Mignon.
Well-Done Filet Mignon on capitalizing on the mistake by the Fishy soloq Warriors. You don't need to be pushing in when you don't have anything like that, and just forcing players jumping into a dead push. You're not going to accomplish anything other than get splatted for free by the enemy team. They basically just willingly gave up control of mid in the middle of the game, and it cost them. It cost them so much. Well, I mean, it ended up costing them the entire game in the end right there. But credit to Well-Done Filet Mignon for being quick enough to recognizing that. As you pointed out, Grace, using their specials to extend their control of mid, build up some more clams, get a couple of splats, and then the floodgates opened up. Did not look back. And now we're tied at 1 apiece as these two teams competitive the last time they played against each other. That was, so Clam Blitz Umami was the counter pick by Well-Done Filet Mignon the last time they played. That ended up being a win by Fishy. The counter pick that Fishy used was Tower Control Ship Shape, and they were able to win on that in the previous match. We'll see if they continue the trend of doing something different. The answer is yes. How do you feel about Rainmaker at Humpback Pump Track?
I think it's a really, really fun map mode. I don't think I love it enough to make it my own counter pick, but I'm not going to be too mad if it gets counter picked against me. It's just a little risky. Rainmaker's always a big risk factor, but it's very fun. A lot of stuff works as well. I mean, I think going up into, like, if I'm Well-Done Filet Mignon here, I don't mind this pick at all, because we're so aggressive that we can just run you down on Rainmaker. We can zombie push it. We can just explode with all of our specials. We can maintain mid. We can keep good map control as well here. But if I'm Fishy soloq Warriors too, I probably have a trick or two up my sleeve, because this is a very specific Rainmaker map. Like, they definitely have a plan in the back of their head.
I would hope so. I mean, there's not many Rainmaker maps that we play in period. I would hope
Very
they
true.
at least got a game plan for the handful of ones that you can play, that you can put into a map list without somebody coming to help them. Oh, no.
We're so back. Someone in the Twitch chat just said, huh?
Oh.
Are we so back?
Can
We're
they
so
hear
back.
us? Oh, hello, friends, and welcome
Yippee!
back. This is game 3 of Who's This Manty Panty and Friends versus
Yep.
Fish. Okay, it's Fishy soloq Warriors and the Steak Team, and the Steak Team
true.
is in the orange/yellow, the macaroni orange, I like to call it. And Pinhead here is going to start pushing up here. All right, Dynamo. Dynamo makes sense on this stage. Dreadringer, also an annoying thing to deal with. You get the reslide around the corner, make something happen right here. But, oh, by the way, there's one of the 2 brushes that's going to be smacking you in the back of the head. And we're going at it again.
I mean, looking again at these comps too, the trusty Dreadringer makes a lot of sense. I also, thinking about the Dynamo too, makes total sense why they want to pick Humpback. I totally didn't even think about that as well. I mean, but looking at how well Filet Mignon is doing here, it feels like whatever you counter pick against them, they're just gonna have so much aggression that you can't even do what you want to do. So looking at this Kraken here, disrupting here the members of Fishy soloq Warriors, does get a pick as well, and completely splits them up here. Look, they're having 2 separate fights here in mid, which has to back up there on that Dynamo, and here is flanking around the back, trying to maybe get some aggression, trying to get some presence as well. But because the members of Filet Mignon themselves got a little bit dislocated from each other, trying to dislocate the members of Fishy soloq Warriors, they're almost at that first checkpoint, Pop Gun, which is pretty good considering how aggressive Filet Mignon has been playing this so far.
No, it's not. Getting
What?
almost to the first checkpoint is not pretty good at all.
Oh,
It's horrible. Get the checkpoint or don't. And they're not going to get it. How dare they? In fact, they might get the checkpoint run back right at them. Here is Manty Panty, your friend at least. You keep being friendly with all these players. I'm not friends with anyone here.
I have love in my heart.
For who? Manty Panty?
Yes, for everyone. Everyone's my
for
friend.
everyone. Okay. Well, your friends have yet to clear a checkpoint on either side. With about
true.
3 minutes left to go.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, looking again. Oh, wait, they almost Once again, almost, which is not good. That they
Not
almost
good.
cracked the checkpoint. I mean, they are going to go 2 down, but they still can't pop against them here with the Zipcaster as well. The jump in, I thought they were about to get ripped apart by that Spider-Man, but not quite here. So looking at this Kraken, best friends with the Rainmaker. Oh, where are we going? Okay.
Wow. They have to go back to it. I guess that was the thing. But yeah, the Kraken a little indecisive with what they wanted to do there. Do I want to go after somebody? I just want to protect, make sure they can't grab the Rainmaker. But yeah, the Reslider there right in the way. And the big bubbler on top of that as well. Potential for some huge chunk O points being taken by the Fishy soloq Warriors. 28 remaining. Ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a smart route that they took too, because they tried to get out of the shots sight lines there, which is good, but they're not quite able to get anywhere past that because they just have so much presence on their own plat here. Okay, the Kraken coming out once again. Well, they just ran away. Did you see that? They both dropped into mid, which I respect. The jump in gonna get taken out as well here, but Boss opting to go all the way to this right checkpoint. Oh, gets taken out. Ugh. My gosh, their Dynamo was ready for them, but they're still 2 down. And I mean, we're talking about presence in mid, we're talking about map control. They really do not have any standing in mid quite yet. Even though Fishy soloq Warriors are kind of giving it to them, they're not taking it.
What to say, with the placement they had, they could kind of go over that wall to get to the checkpoint, but instead, ANAD, doing a good job of just picking it up and moving it back to the opposite side of the stage as we see Spider-Man being deployed yet again, chasing away some players. But look at this, Boss sneaking around the backside, able to clear the checkpoint. 55 seconds left to go, and I think some of these players are a bit out of position. Only getting one splat. Why is a Rainmaker over there? How'd they even get it over there? Oh, it's because they got splatted on the backside. Well, now it's back in mid. It don't matter anymore.
My gosh.
Panty holding down everything 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like I've lived both 1,000 years and not lived at all, because Well-Done Filet Mignon, going that other route, that alternative route on Humpback is so dangerous, and I feel like it never works out, but when it does, it really, really does. So I'd be interested to see if they try to go that way again, or if they just want to stick to the classic going up into that elbow as well here. But Pinhead, who you call Pinhead there, trying to cancel out their aggression there in mid. They're dropping onto each other. The Zipcasters as well. Manty Panty grabs the Rainmaker and trying for dear life, but they have no friends with them. Popgun, I feel like look at this. This looks like the a picture you would see of somebody showing you how to play Turf War. What? I feel like we were swapping spawns. We were just we weren't going front to back at all. Which is a very, very funny way to play Rainmaker, but it clearly worked out here for our friends here in
Yellow. Well-Done Filet Mignon would have won if that was Turf War, based on my interpretation of the final shot of the stage. Instead, it is Fishy soloq Warriors. The first time those two teams have played Rainmaker against each other today, who takes it, and now they are 1 win away from a rematch against the slightly unstoppable Chery DeepSync. Now is going to be the counter pick yet again, coming out for Well-Done Filet Mignon. And we do have the Hammerhead video. Are we going to take a look at it right now?
Yes.
Yeah, let's watch this. Because you see... Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's just a thing. Like, we're just cool with that being a thing, apparently. Like, that person is about that. No safety equipment. No PPE, just a hard hat. The only thing that will be the remains of their corpse when they splat on the ground.
He's like 2 feet tall. They had him go up that high, and they only gave him a hard hat. When he hits the ground, and nothing is helping.
I think that might be my favorite thing in all 3 Splatoon games. The fact that they just put that in there. It's just...
No, because we can't even see that either.
Yeah, it's like just deep in the code. Somebody said, "Let's keep that. Let's keep that. Let's put that in." So there you go. There's your nightmare fuel for the day. And we're going to be moving on to whatever game 4 is going to be. Keep in mind, Well-Done Filet Mignon loves the counterpick clan blitz. They can't do that anymore because they've won on it already. So they got to do something else. Gotta go do splat zones, which has been, not too bad for them in this matchup here. They could do tower control, which they lost the only tower control, or they could run it back with Rainmaker. Although that last one didn't look too promising for them. Maybe they want to avoid that unless they were opting to go with something like Undertow, where they won on in the previous match. A lot of options. And the real question is, do they seem eager to make a choice at all? Maybe not.
I mean, I wouldn't be. I'd be shaking in my boots because we're at match point and they're about to knock me out once again here. I would be shaking in my boots so much that I would need a sub. They do actually need a sub. I think someone needs a sub.
They are.
So we're probably going to be waiting here for a while.
They're going to sub a player out. Now, we're not going to be waiting here too much longer. We're not going to be doing this we got to wait for our sub to get home, so we're going to stall the whole match. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, but we do need at least a stage being selected. And if they're selecting a stage specifically to get a sub in, or maybe they're just trying to get the Stamper player back in. Regardless, we're going to do some investigation here because we want to speed these things up.
We're going to be knocking on their doors. I think we should normalize that. Normalize? No, I'm kidding. Normalize throwing rocks through the windows of the TOs that you dislike. It's happened to me a few times. I've had to get my windows repaired thanks to IPL insurance that we definitely have. And after 200 more SOSs, maybe I just won't have windows anymore. And that's okay.
2 more? What's going to happen in the next 2? It's going to be so bad. What could possibly happen?
No, I said 200, but maybe the next 2. It depends,
Oh.
I feel like if there's like a full moon, you know how there's the thing where it's like when there's a full moon, like the emergency room like has more people. I feel like on a full moon, Splatoon players get crazy and they hate SOS again. It depends.
Oh, I see. They're getting an actual sub, like somebody fresh out of the sub channel.
Okay, who is it? Let's stalk this person. Did they put div 4 plus in their send out bio? Let's take a look.
Hold on. So they originally tried to get a sub who was already on a different team today, which you can't do. You can't sub for 2 teams in the same day.
Tragic.
So they're bringing in a Stamper/decap player who hasn't been playing in the entire day.
Let's hope that they're
Oku.
warmed up.
They better be. They're subbing for a team that's 1 loss away from being eliminated.
Oh my gosh. That is, you know what? I respect it. Hilarious that it's a Stamper player though. Like we were just talking about getting the Stamper player back in. So we shall see if this is the thing that they need.
Oh gosh, I got a little choked up there. Now was this somebody who played yesterday? Yes, this was a person who did play on a team yesterday and was able to. I forget which team that they were on, but they were able to get the way there. Oh, hello, Chudlings. I believe is who they were playing with.
Oh my gosh, Chudlings! Wow.
Well, they need them now. Time to lock into this one and figure it out. So did we get a pick? I believe we did. I think we are on Splat Zone's Hagglefish is what they're going with. And again, that is the dub that this team was able to get 3 hours ago in winners round 1 against this team, although they ended up losing the match. And obviously they didn't have the new Stamper decap player who's going to be rolling in here. Fresh off the bench.
Yeah, fresh off the bench, fresh off the Chudlings. I think it's really, really risky to go back to a map mode that you've played against a team on in the same tournament. I mean, like, even if you've won it against them, I feel like I've never won when I've done that. So I think it's a bold move, and I appreciate it, and I hope that their steak does not explode because they cooked it so much.
Well, excuse me, I yawned. I think they really just want to go back to Clan Blitz, but obviously you can't do that. So it's like, okay, what's the backup plan here?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm surprised that they don't want to go to tower control, but I think zones can be a little more comfortable. Like tower control, it can be a little snowbally. It depends on the map mode. So,
Well, we're going to Splatstone's Hagglefish. We had to remake the lobby. The Oku, the sub, is in here, and according to their application to be a sub, they are a decav stamper player, which I don't know who they're subbing in for, would be the question. If they come back in for boss, then it would be a similar comp to what we saw out of this team in the previous match. With the stamper, I forget the name of the stamper, but the stamper, they had a stamper player that was causing a lot of issues for the other team here, and Pinhead is in. So yeah, I think boss subbed out. Lay Bob. Lay Bob had to go mow the yard, apparently, and so did boss. So now here we are. Oku off the bench, hasn't played all day long. You are now inserted into a roster for a team that is currently down 1-2 in losers finals of Low Ink.
My gosh, if I were them, I'd be shaking in my boots, but perhaps they don't have a pair of boots, and I think that's beautiful. A lot of Stamper decaf players, they got crazy fits, and I don't like them. I don't like when folks use, you know the ankle bracelet pop gun?
I do.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. Well, we didn't have to bring that up unless somebody was using it. But
I can feel it.
You just forced it into reckoning. What? Just like that in like the oversized T-shirt? Kind of, yeah.
I do like an oversized T-shirt. I may or may not be wearing an oversized T-shirt right now, but I do not like the anklet thing. Not a fan.
At the very least, Oku can say, hey, I've made podium officially in Low Ink.
Yeah.
Because that is true now. But
it's true.
Everybody is starting to ready up here. Again, we are going to Splatstones at Hagglefish. This is a potential match point for the Fishy soloq Warriors. We're looking to get a rematch against Chery DeepSync if they would find a way to get the dub right here. And now we see that Oku did not lie on their sub application. They are a stamper player, going with the Booyah Bomb variant, not the Zipcaster.
Cool though, and I mean we've seen them do well in this map mode before. So looking at Filet Mignon, I wonder. Oh, Oku has perished. That is tragic. But looking at the other members of Filet Mignon here, they're backing up. Oh no, Oku's jumping in, but they're probably gonna camp their jump. But whoa. Okay. Jump camping aside, they're able to sweep up the members of Fishy soloq Warriors here, Popgun, and it's a complete sweep. They get completely wiped out here. Oku once again jumping in. But I just hope that they don't overheat too much here with these specials. I mean, the Kraken coming in makes a lot of sense, trying to disrupt them. They are able to take out the Dreadringer, which is their Reef Slider, which is huge here. And Matador getting taken out as well there on their little Zipcaster. And that makes 2 going down on Filet Mignon here, Popgun. My gosh. Exploding.
My goodness. It's not going to last much longer, though. And yeah, this is just a rough situation here to play. Not just for Oku, but for everybody else on Well-Done Filet Mignon in the middle of the most important match of their career up to this point. To figure out, like, okay, who are you? Like, can you VC with us even? And they got lead. It's not going to last much longer. So that Kraken is going to do a good enough job with the Booyah Bomb on the backside. The Booyah Bomb from Oku is going to cap the zone here. So we got a pretty decent back and forth. But all you got to do is just keep the game going. Because the longer this goes on, the more Well-Done Filet Mignon is going to settle in and get to know each other as they're going to reclaim lead here if it wasn't for that doggone pesky Reef Slider.
That's a good point, though. I feel like it is a bit of an endurance game as well, too, with both of these teams having played a lot of matches today. So looking at Well-Done Filet Mignon here, I mean, that's really funny. They kind of they were going back and forth, like swimming with their friend, the Dynamo, on where to lock out the members of Filet Mignon here, but they kind of just let them come back in for free. I mean, the Kraken is getting some value here in the zone. They kind of just let them run into the zone and then just ran back at them and painted over them here with a Reef Slider as well. Mancy Panty here trying to capitalize off of them, not knowing where they were, but they are still going to get taken out as well here. So Filet Mignon, 2 down. It is ticking down here. They don't have any specials online. Oku here is up. So if they're able to get some kind of crazy quad here, that's basically all the hope that Filet Mignon has. Oh, and they're going to get taken out. So that makes it. We talked about it being match point. Fishy soloq Warriors are going up into grand finals here, 3-1 against Filet Mignon. Cool.
Winning low ink is so incredibly difficult to do, not just because of the amount of time that you have to play, but just the fact that you need at least 4 players to be available for the entire weekend and play at your peak pretty much the entire time as well. Swiss is stressful. You lose twice in Swiss, you might not make alpha bracket. You lose twice on day 2, you're done at that point. We saw Well-Done Filet Mignon literally use 6 players in the 2 matches that they had, one of whom they found off the street in the middle of their after
With
losing.
the Chudlings.
With
A
the
fellow
Chudlings.
Chudling. Yeah.
And they're able to at least put together a little bit of a valiant fight at the end. And oh gosh, we couldn't even put Hoku on the official roster. Did we have to take someone off to put them on there? I think we did. Rip them. But still, Fishy soloq Warriors marches on to grand finals. And that's actually where we're going to be picking this back up. We're going to take a quick break and go get some water, maybe use the bathroom, get some, I'm got a hankering for some steak for some reason. I might grill one up. And we'll be right back with grand finals of Low Ink right here on IPL.
Hello, friends, and welcome back for watching that really, really cool ad from our friends over at Off the Dial. So, if you don't already know, IDTGA stands for It's Dangerous to Go Alone. It is a solo registration tournament. You can still enter if you're on a team, but you just won't really be playing with them. But it is returning. It's been running since 2018. I have a lot of fun memories of it. Lots of folks do. So, Season 48 is on July 11th. Registration closes 3 days before, and more information can be found on otd.inc or by searching It's Dangerous to Go Alone or Off the Dial on your browser. So yeah.
That was the first tournament I ever played in back in 2018. And,
Did you play the first one?
No, I don't think so, no. I mean, I could look up to see. I don't think they had numbers back then. But that was definitely a tournament that got me down the rabbit hole to where I am today. So if there is a tournament where somebody shows up and they're like, I don't have any teammates, because a lot of people who play this game don't have people who'd want to do competitive with them. It's a good way to get into the scene. It's a good way to meet other people and make some connections, network, and all that good stuff. And who knows? You could be the next Grace.
Whoa.
It could be you.
It's
doubt
true.
it, but there's there's always a possibility. You could also be the next Fishy soloq warriors, or the Chery DeepSync team. Now, we haven't talked about Chery DeepSync yet because they've been kicking butt to Pizza Hut all weekend long. The one team, though, I've been watching this team all day long. The one team Chery DeepSync probably is happy they're not going up against is NeoWave. Yes, they're the only team to take a game off of them. I was watching that match. They had them dead to rights. They were about to be down 0-2 to NeoWave before they clutched out a big push at the end of a Rainmaker game. So it's not been as dominant as the scores would lead you to believe. Although the last time they played this team, it wasn't very competitive. Not gonna lie. We'll see if there can be any redemption coming out here from Fishy soloq, as they are going to be busting out the Rapid Blaster Deco Schmecko. I forget the official name of that one. Who cares? It gives out soda.
Oh my gosh. This is
Antenna
such
missiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is such a fun comp, though. I mean, of course you know the try, very very classic on Mako Mart. But looking at the rest of these weapons as well here, the Flingza, I like it. The Dapples with the aggression, I like it too. And with the Rapid, it just feels like these weapons are going to be working well together, and they're very specific. This isn't just another run-of-the-mill comp here, but that Reslider coming out is going to help push back the members of Chery DeepSync here. They're off of a little bit of a break here, so they might have to de-rust a little bit if they want to not get caught off guard here by Fishy soloq warriors.
We got the colors wrong. Okay. I was still like, why is Chery doing this? This is like an awkward flex. But no, it's Fishy that's trying something different to try to make something work out into their favor right here. And right now they're going to spawn camp. That's not good.
Yep, and you know what? Who cares about de-rusting? Because it's really... Anyways, splashdown, guys. That's really, really cool. So we're just going to not worry about that crazy little fight there in that corner. That was hilarious. When we talk about spawn camping, they still got them really, really backed up here. I mean, this Tri-Slosher, yes, they can paint the zone just a little bit, but not enough to really make that much of a dent. Pinhead here dropping in, Yeti as well. They're just funneling in, getting picked off one after another by Chery DeepSync here. My gosh, de-rusting be darned. That was basically a 100-0 push. I mean, Fishy soloq warriors held the zone for a little bit there, but that was it.
So the thing I've noticed about Chery DeepSync is I've been keeping an eye on them throughout the day. It's one of those teams where the Sniper Rider just doesn't die very often. Now, there was a couple of times I saw where they were having difficulties against NeoWave, where they were getting splatted a lot. They were finding ways to put pressure on that. But when the Sniper Rider never gets eliminated, and they're just constantly playing whack-a-mole to the players that are coming after all the other teammates that they're going up against, and all the other things that they do, put down all the turf across that you constantly have to paint over, aggressively throwing sodas all over the place, keeping all their teammates nice and hydrated because it's hot outside. It is summer officially today. You got to find some way to displace that Snipe Rider. So maybe that's where they were thinking, well, let's bring out the Flingza. Let's bring out that can fire off all the missiles. Let's bring out the Rapid Blaster Pro that can poke it from a distance. The problem is, before you get to the Sniper Rider, you got to deal with everything else. And, well, the rest of the team's pretty good as well. But if you want to beat this team, you got to keep the Snipe Rider moving. If you let the Snipe Rider just set up shop on the few spots that they like to go to and just do so much damage, you're not going to beat this team. It's not going to happen. Easier said than done, obviously.
And I wonder if trying to keep the pencil moving is why they chose Rainmaker, because they like insta locked in that counter pick. Fishy soloq warriors, that is. Rainmaker Museum, though, it feels, it's kind of awkward and it's kind of hard to push. I feel like I see a lot of games where even at really high levels where nobody will score, as well as clams on here. But for Rainmaker specifically, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of a comp change from Chery DeepSync. Going to the tune of the whole, when that Snipe Rider's up, they're, of course, the backbone of the comp, and you just can't really, you feel like you're trapped, you're suffocating, and you can't move when that Snipe Rider's up. That's also because of the other members of Chery DeepSync not letting you get even close to them. You mentioned having to go through them to get to the pencil, of course, but that's always it's very specific synergy that you have to where you know when your pencil's getting pushed, even maybe before they have to tell you. So you always are ready to peel back for them so that they don't go down, so that they can keep supporting you. You kind of all have to be holding hands and be in love. And let's see if love wins here.
No. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Happy Pride.
What? Okay, we got the Clash Blaster out. I don't even know what's on that umbrella kit.
Oh my, I don't think I've ever seen that in my
life. Oh, it's an undercover one with the Killer Whale and Curling Bomb. Okay. What are we doing here? No, what is this?
I've never seen that umbrella ever, dare I say ever in my life on a tournament. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Are they just giving up? Like, genuinely, like, how is this supposed to work? Oh, never mind. They're getting a triple on top of it. What do I know? They didn't give up the checkpoint as well. Fine, Grace. I'll let them cook. Explain this to me. We'll see how this works.
No, but I'm so confused, Popgun, because did they overheat? Did they get too focused on taking out that blaster? Because they could have picked up the Rainmaker there and stalled it out or something with 3 down on Chery DeepSync, but they squandered that chance. What is happening? What am I looking at?
The Clash Blaster, with its dying breath, prevented the podium from being broken. Yet and finally it goes down right there. Oh boy.
Listen, who you calling Pinhead? My gosh. I mean, they do crack the checkpoint. Okay, that's great. Rice Cake is like, what am I looking at right now? All right, y'all, protect me. I'm grabbing this Rainmaker. But they're stationed up top left, which again, very, very smart. Trying to get a good spread of defense. They did drop, so they actually hate me. But this crab here going for the repop, they're all marked. They're all in a line together holding hands, which is not great in this situation here. It's just going to take one explosive special. Yep, okay, yep, there they all go. No more fishies. Chery DeepSync here grabbing this Rainmaker. It's kind of awkward to KO on this map too, especially when there's 50-11 specials being thrown at you, but it's going to be tough for Fishy soloq warriors to even get off their own plat, it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to do anything, Grace. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, what?
Oh.
What? I can't even. I mean, I've seen some silly stuff in low ink in my day, but never in grand finals have I seen something as silly as this. And I'm just trying to think, how does this work against the Snipe Rider once they even get set? Like, how? First off, when you stop this push, how are you going to deal with the Snipe Rider? If you're going to do Zuka, there's got to be so many other options right here, and I guess that's not going to be a concern right now, as we might just get KO'd right here.
Yep.
Come on. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. But this is grand finals of low ink. You've played this team. This is your 5th game against this team, and that's what you come up with? Oof. Really?
I can understand throwing something at the wall and seeing, hey, I have love in my heart, and I have love in my heart. But the previous comps that they played against them, looked nothing like this. So I wonder if they're trying to play off of unexpectedness that to throw off Chery DeepSync. But when you're going up against a pencil that is so great at staying up, they're ready for anything. I don't think playing into your opponent's hands and trying to psych them out is what's gonna win you low ink. I think it's playing into what you're good at. That's what's gonna help them here. So I hope they hear me in their fishy heads, and I hope they go back to what was doing something at least before.
Well, they got one more opportunity at a counter pick. They are going to go with Rainmaker yet again on Humpback Pump Track. And I think this is the only counter pick Chery DeepSync has made all day long. When they got their first loss, they counterpicked Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track. So this is probably where they wanted to go anyways. I'm not going to discredit Fishy soloq Warriors for not knowing that, but this is going to be a tough situation. I think they've kind of recognized that regardless. If Fishy soloq Warriors wins this tournament, I'm done.
You're done.
I'm retired. Yeah, I'm going to retire. Like, if they come back from whatever that was and win this tournament, what could top that? What more? We talk about greatness. How does it get greater than that?
You got me there. But if you think about it, Fishy soloq Warriors, this could all just be a part of the master plan that they have, right? Okay, stick with me here. They're trying to psych out the audience and us and Chery DeepSync so that their pencil is like, you know what? We got this in the bag. You know what I'm going to play? Dapple Dualies. And then therefore, Fishy soloq Warriors, they run the ultimate comp and they're in their heads popcorn. I had never seen this type of mind game before, but it could be working for sure. Yep. It
could be. I mean, it didn't right there, but you never know how these things are going to... That's why you tune in to watch.
Yeah.
You never know how these things are going to go. I mean, we could just see quad arrow spray come up. I mean, why not?
Oh, yeah.
That ding means that, unfortunately, these two teams have to join a lobby and fight each other one more time. At least one more time, if not 6 more. They're going to be busted out here. And there's the Luna Blaster in the Sploosh. Is that double hammer? No, it is double hammer. What are you owing about?
2 splooshes.
Yes.
1 sploosh for each team.
Chery DeepSync's been using Sploosh for this stage and mode pretty exclusively, so this has been on brand for them. But that's it's triple hammer actually coming out from Fish.
Listen, okay, here's where it comes into the effect. Okay, we're not going to worry about how Pinhead just got whomped by that hammer. Okay, here, Popgun, you see the junior acts as the anchor. They did just go down, but you see with the bubble and those 3 hammers come out of the bubble. You walking with me here, and then they keep it down as the anchor. See, that's going very, very well. Exactly as I said, Pinhead going to be able to take out that Rainmaker there. They do still track the checkpoint, but it's not over till it's over here. That Reslider might murder everybody on Fishy soloq Warriors, but it isn't 2v2. It doesn't even matter. We're slaying here. We're slaying. They're still going to get the pop. But it's not over till it's over, even if I was going to say Chery soloq Warriors. Even if Chery DeepSync here does have complete map control.
Even if Chery Limeade were looking at this comp, they'd be scratching their head saying, Nani? This is going on here. But yeah, triple hammer. Now, their hammer comp isn't made for the defensive side of things. They're trying to get something going offensively. And all they got to do is, hey, there goes the Snipe Rider out of the way.
Hammer into the hammer. Ooh. Perfect.
Hammer on the backside. Oh, man. And there it goes down there. But yeah, if they can find ways to get the hammers going offensively and create this, like, train, a little path for the Rainmaker to work with. The problem is, like, you got to stop things defensively as well. And you don't have a ton of range. What's the longest range? Is it the Wiper? I think it is.
I think it's the bombs from the junior.
Oh, that doesn't count. We're not including that in longest range. Oh, hey, well, look at this. A chance for something to happen. Here comes a hammer.
Oh.
And that's not the lead just yet. But they can clear this checkpoint here. Pinhead.
Oh,
Pinhead. Oh, Pinhead. Where was this?
Whoa.
And they break the checkpoint. Oh, they're going to get lead on this, Grace. With a hammer to lead the way.
Okay, hammer leading the way. Dab me up. Oh, nope, they just threw it. Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. They still backed them up a little bit there. I mean, they do get the lead. Like we said, And they do get all the way to 35 remaining, which is good. Not fantastic on Humpback because, I mean, with the 50-11 hammers, you can just help them get up into that. Speaking of 50-11 hammers, I feel like I'm seeing stars. Oh, what is... This is what I'm talking about. See? The junior is the anchor. The 3 hammers come out, and even if they go down, they just have more hammers. And even if that one goes down, they have another one. It's okay.
If you were to take that 10-second hammer play and stretch it out to like a slow motion 30-second clip, it'd be the sickest thing of all time. There's re-sliders, there's like bombs all going all over the place, and the hammer gets a triple despite all that nonsense. By the way, they're still doing what you're supposed to be doing when you have a lead in a comp like this. Play like you don't have the lead. Keep being aggressive. Keep going, adding 13 points to their lead here. And still trying to sneak out a few more. Oh, if they grab that, maybe they get an additional point. Instead, they get splatted. Soda in the veins of Chery DeepSync. We all of a sudden have a game worth paying attention to.
Listen, I am locked in. Oh, was that a junior? That was perhaps a junior bomb. As I said, the biggest range in the lobby. The junior splat bombs. No, but they have so much ink here in front of them. Only the splash is left alive there in that elbow, running for dear life. Pinhead not able to stitch up that kill like they have been, as we've been seeing here. And they're able to get them out there in that little pit area. So, this is a very, very welcomed, unexpected outcome so far. Here, Fishy Warriors, they're in the lead in the last minute.
I thought I was going to be moving on to my Father Day festivities. Nope, he might be here a little bit longer. 1 minute remaining, though. And Fishy soloq Warriors, yet again, getting some splats in mid. And they got a lot of stage control, but they got to keep the aggression up. They can't just sit back and wait for Chery DeepSync to hit a home run, which they've gotten pretty close to doing. A hammer and a big bowler ready to go. This Pinhead's just sharking around looking for a splat.
Does anybody want to pop that? Two down on Chery DeepSync as well. Only the sploosh is left alive, and they're going to get traded out there. Okay, Rice Cake, I need you to get a quad right now. Because with that bubble, okay, they do opt to grab it. Honestly,
why?
Okay, keeping it on their side of the map, I get it, but I mean, it was staying unpopped, which I think was the best result here. But I don't even think it's going to matter here, pop them, because last 10 seconds here, they can't even get into mid. Yeti's probably going to pop this and then hammer them 50-11 times. I don't know.
Why did they pop it? Why did they grab it? They're going to get overtime. Now, again, it might not matter.
I don't know if it does. Okay.
Oh, it didn't. But still, doing everything they can to make it as interesting as possible. Fishy soloq Warriors, always the entertainers, somehow find a way to extend this match to a game 4.
My gosh. You know, as I said, they were getting in our heads. I don't even know what to say.
No, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. I can't believe we're still going here. And here we are. Here we go. Okay, so now it is Chery DeepSync's counter pick. And by the way, they can't make a counter pick here because this is where they wanted to go. So they'll have to go somewhere else. Or I guess, I don't know, maybe there's a way that you can pick the mode that you lost. Maybe, I don't know. Regardless, though, yeah, they were just waiting for the right window with all these specials to line up at the perfect time to able to get the splats, and they're able to do just that.
This is it.
This is it. Yeah, look, it's okay. Like the pencil, the zip caster, the reef slider, everything just completely blew the doors wide open on that. What a heck of a play by Yeti.
Oh, I can't believe that worked. And then they got the hammer throw too. My gosh. Listen, I've worked up quite an appetite because of that game. So it would be really, really funny if we went to a map that has a humongous bowl of ramen. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Bonus flat zones for ramen. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Chery DeepSync was so strong on zones. And maybe they just really want a nice place for their pencil to station up and not have to worry about the objective moving out from under their feet. I think it makes a lot of sense to go to zones here.
And I believe they beat Fishy. I think Fishy counterpicked this last time and lost on it against Chery DeepSync. But technically the second game lost by Chery DeepSync all tournament long. and maybe they found something they can roll into here. I mean, maybe the Clash Blaster undercover in Game 2 wasn't for funsies. Maybe that was an actual thing. They're going deep into the playbook here. Triple Hammer got them the win in Game 3. Can they ride the wave of momentum here and steal a second one to force a Game 5 and a bracket reset? There's no way that happens, Grace. There's no way, right? It's not going to happen, right?
I think we're going band for band here with getting into their heads in these mind games. Going onto the map mode that you once swamped somebody on because it was their counter pick here. Interesting to say the least.
What?
And then once
They're
again
with
with the 3. Oh.
Why?
Okay.
We're doing this again? Okay.
Well, okay,
They
so
found...
here's the thought process. No, stick with me, Popgun. You put up the bubble. The 3 other members with the hammers throw 3 hammers at the pencil. What are they going to do? Shoot them? No?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't consider that. Oh, I didn't consider this either. Triple ultimately going down as a lot of players from Chery DeepSync seems a bit desynced right now. There goes a hammer across the stage. They have to jump out for the spot. Look at Fishy pushing all the way up. And by the way, if you're wondering why they pick splat zones, they're allowed to do it because it's not their most recent win. Yet again, it might not be their most closest win either.
My gosh, okay, Pinhead here on top of this crab take. Oh, okay, they managed to wipe them out. I was hoping they were going to go into that ball form and run them over, but they didn't, and I respect it here. But Popgun, first minute here, they're already at 44 remaining. So, I mean, they're already trying to get back into the zone here. We can see that here, okay, the splashdown takes them out. Very, very smart play by Umbra. But they're funneling in through this choke point here, through mid. Yeti here in the zone. Okay, the Reeflighter gets one. Isn't able to get that jump, but they do get it later with that bubble as well. I don't think they're going to be able to get much off of that, but it does delay them a bit. So, they're trying to stall out this zone here to maybe funnel in with the 50-11 hammers, and maybe that's going to help them out here. But with that crab, I don't even know what's happening at this point. 2 members down on Chery DeepSync here. The hammer's already in the zone, but it's not that great at painting. It's great at a lot of things, but not really great at painting the zone.
But if you get a splat on the enemy team, you can paint the zone with their blood. And that is what they're able to accomplish right there. But the problem is Chery DeepSync, yeah, they got caught off guard in the first minute, but now that they're set up and established, it's basically just Fishy soloq warriors essentially holding forward into this and trying to make something happen that's just not there. And they're just doing a good job of getting all the punch. That's going to do it. Unless the junior throws a bomb heard around the world, Chery DeepSync, with only 2 losses to their name, is going to take home the gold medal in Low Ink June 2026.
And big kudos to them. You know, I too do not like 3 hammers being thrown at my face, but going back to old Reliable, a map mode where you know that you can set up your pencil, you know that you can help Rice Cake and push up, and you can set up into this amazing positioning to where they just get completely locked out. Can't even think about dropping right, can't push you through main, can't do anything here. Chery DeepSync, your Low Ink champions this month. And like you said, only dropped 2 games the entire tourney. Crazy.
Crazy stuff. Not too shabby on their part. Of one of the rare 4-player rosters to win Low Ink. We typically have to have at least 5. Not that they all have to play. But it's hard to have just 4 players the entire weekend and they all be solid and locked in. And this team was solid and locked in the whole way through. Once again, NeoWave had them basically down 0-2 in Winner's semifinals. And if they don't win that game, they might not win that match, and this would be a completely different tournament for them. Instead, they found a way to clutch that out. That was the tournament for them. And since then, they went on a tear, and, well, they got hammered in that game 3. But Fishy soloq warriors, I'll give you credit for at least putting up something different. It didn't work out, but you at least tried something different, and you're going to be taking home your silver medal. And Grace, congratulations to you. You won beta bracket.
I did. My field house. I am a homeowner and a vampire, and I did drop out of college. A lot of things happened today, and that is pretty awesome of them.
That's pretty poggers of them. You're getting a 3-1 victory. Not that. And also beat Nerds, which is an acronym, I'm assuming, 3-2 as well. So congratulations to you for winning Low Ink beta brackets. I mean, what else can you say from what we just saw. I mean, we could sit here and talk about it for hours on end, but I'd rather not.
Uh-huh.
Personally, I think I'm gonna go celebrate Father's Day.
Yeah.
cool with that?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, do you want to tell people where to
On that, that's perfect.
That's hilarious and perfect.
Oh boy, we're on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Grace, where can people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at tubnug.bsky.social. What about you?
You can find me on the podcast tomorrow talking about this and the Splatoon 3 North American League playoffs, which is going on
Ooh.
right now. From all of us here at IPL, while we still got the chance, the head TOs for this event, Ho and Hero, Brush, and myself, we thank you for watching, playing, and participating in this weekend of Low Ink. And also shout out to our streamer, Ink Fair, as well. That's it. That's all I got. Congrats to Chery, DeepSync. Let's get out of here. Good night.